bam, bam. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Okay. Boom. Suffering at Brante. Stretch out the chat. Boom. All right. Damn, Sasha, you're here fast. Welcome on in. Thank you for the biddies. Okay. Let's ruin my voice for another night. Yay. You are shaving before going to work. You scoop some warm water from the wash basin. The morning light reflected in the mirror is blinding. A servant rushes in with an urgent letter, or rather, a crumpled note. He said it is from a childhood friend of yours. You flinch involuntarily. A nasty cut appears on your cheek. Ryan, I'm in trouble. Otton knows that I helped you. Now he's finally decided to get rid of me. His henchmen are on my trail already. They'll find me no matter how well I hide. I'm out of time, Brante. If you can, for the sake of our old friendship, help me out of this mess somehow. If Otton finds me, I'll be off to the Shining Pillar. I'm all out of lives. Your friend, Thomas. Wait, how did he lose his third life? Oh. You crush the note in your hands. A drop of blood runs down your cheek. Your old friend is in danger because he helped you with the case against Otton. You do not interfere, Thomas Guerrero. Doom. Fuck, I'm gonna die. Don't we need our family reputation to be up, though? We're not gonna get ennobled by the sword. I feel like it's impossible. No. Oh, fuck. We've got to protect him. It'd be such an asshole thing to do. But... Ah, shit. I feel like we gotta... yeah. You failed to protect Thomas from Otton's revenge last time. You will not fail him again. You crumple up the note, pick up your sword, and rush to help your friend. You know where Thomas has been trying to hide recently. Ruined Palace of Charmillenitis, where you used to play as children. You get there just in time. You hear a familiar voice coming from the ruins of an ancient bathhouse. Quit hiding, you bastards! You won't take me without spilling some blood of your own! You follow the cry. In the middle of the old bathhouse, you see Thomas, dirty, his hair overgrown, a sword clutched in his hand. 5 men inconspicuously dressed in coarse clothing and wielding various weapons, slowly closing in on him. They all freeze, stunned by your unexpected appearance. What took you so long, Brante? You hear intense joy in his voice. You rush to Thomas's side. Back to back, you start the fight. You are more skilled than Otton's henchmen, but they outnumber you. You do not let them surround you, but the fight is still a tough one. You succeed in wounding one of the enemies in the leg and force him to drop out of the battle, with another huge bruiser swinging a club wildly, and all you can do is dodge. You are quickly becoming exhausted. Thomas keeps pace with you. He performs a masterful counterattack against one of the enemies and skewers him with his sword. Unfortunately, his weapon becomes stuck in the enemy's body. He will not be able to dodge the other assailant. With a swift turn, you put yourself in the line of fire and catch the blade with your glove. You steer the tip away from Thomas, then run your sword through the thug's stomach with a quick thrust. But your triumph is short-lived. You momentarily lose track of the big fellow. He lands a heavy blow on your back. Your ribs crack. You are thrown several feet away. Thug swings the bloodied club again, but Thomas hurries to help you. Die, you bastard! Everything turns red. You lie motionless and listen as the fight continues, until several shrieks of agony announce that it is over. Thomas leans over you. An incongruous smile flickers across his face. Hey, Brante, I just asked you to help, not to die in my place. Your old friend's stupid joke is the last thing you hear. Thomas's face and then the rest of the world dissolves in a white light. Impenetrable darkness surrounds you. You stand alone, bare to your very essence. It paralyzes you. You have an urge to cover yourself, to hide. No one should see you so vulnerable. But you cannot conceal the truth in this place. You are bathed in an unbearably bright light. It has no hint of warmth in it. It is blinding. It leaves no shadows in the entire world. It is the light of the shining pillar itself. In this radiance, you can clearly see all your thoughts and doubts, your errors and transgressions, contradictions that have permeated you since birth. They cover you from head to toe like rough gray tatters. They melt away in this light. You are naked. You feel liberated and whole. It is as though all the wounds and cracks in your soul have been healed, making the way it should be. It is as though the scales have fallen from your eyes. You see the true shapes of things now. These are the laws by which the world abides, the grand design that moves life itself. You tread a path that is barely visible in the blinding light giving shape to everything. In this light, you see the infinite complexity of the world, from the tiniest leap to the enormity of the empire. And this world maintains its balance by virtue of the law that was embedded in it during the act of creation. Ahead of you, two figures are waiting on the path. They are gigantic, many times taller than a man. The elder holds a lash, the younger a sword. The younger gazes at you sternly, coldly. You kneel obediently before him and lower your head. The god raises his sword above you. This is divine retribution. There is no law without it, nor can there be. Every action has consequences. This is what shapes the world, making its very existence possible. In this moment, beneath the gaze of the merciless God, you comprehend the law that binds the entire world together. Which manifestation of the law in will you live by? Oh. Ooh. Yeah. Your destiny is your own manifestation of the divine law. Myself. The blade flashes. The younger sword slashes through the air above your head. You do not deserve your final punishment. The law demands that you continue your life. Your form has not been completely destroyed, nor has that of the world. The younger extends his gigantic hand and shows you the way. You must proceed. The path leads you to the top of the crown of the silver tree, spread wide in the white gleam. Branches are close now. It is time to descend. You are drawn downward into darkness. The shadows that had disappeared in the blinding glow creep around you and envelop you. This is to be expected, but the purity and clarity of spirit are still with you. Something is forcing your throat open. Air. It scratches you on the inside. Your soul is filled with struggle again, with the contradictions from which the fabric of this world and you yourself are woven. The divine light that gave you clarity is fading away with each passing moment. You have to open your eyes. Above you is the dark ceiling of the crypt. You are reborn. Nice. You awaken in the crypt. No one is there to meet you. It is quite possible that no one knows about your death. The place smells of damp earth. Battle in the abandoned palace of Charmelanitis is the talk of the city for several days. Your name somehow comes up. Commander Otten does not openly accuse you, but if he did, he would have to explain what his men were doing there. but his schemes make it much more difficult for your brother Stefan to have the Brante family ennobled by the sword. Thomas fled right after the fight. It takes quite some time for you to get any news from him. There you go, Sasha. Ryan, as soon as we fought off those thugs, I decided to go into hiding somewhere far away from Anazat. Without his spies, Otten seems to have lost my trail. It's all thanks to you. I'm in your eternal debt, Brante. I hope you take down that bastard and put an end to his crimes once and for all. We'll meet again. Your friend, Thomas. Hold on, let's see. Personality. What is our... Oh. House? No. Occupation. I think we need to get it up to 8. You spend day after day hard at work toiling over Otten's case. But something far more urgent demands the prefecture's attention today. The city is in chaos. There was an explosion in the square in front of the city hall. That was... Whoa! Damn! Someone threw a bomb at Magistrate Remy L. Verman's carriage. The assassin is... Lower that. The assassin is... I can say words with more than 3 syllables, can't I? The assassination attempt failed. The magistrate was not inside the carriage at the time. He was unharmed, although his servants and driver did not fare so well. Even in your office, you can still smell the acrid smoke from the blast. The gendarmes reacted quickly. 5 suspects, craftsmen and factory workers, were brought to the prefecture before sunset. They are accused of joining the Last Straw, a secret society of insurgents seeking to overthrow imperial rule. This society is on its way to becoming the talk of the city. Rumor has it their leader is an enigmatic woman, a tough criminal by the name of Sophia. The 5 suspects deny their involvement, but a number of eyewitnesses saw them walking toward the square, and some of them still have traces of gunpowder on their fingers. Judge Carlo Fackelgraben has taken the case. The trial will be mercilessly swift. The 5 are to be hanged tomorrow morning. The sun begins to set. You are about to leave for home when you hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. A stranger enters your office. He is pale, with chiseled features, a furrowed brow, a thick black mustache, and dark eyes watching you intently from deep within their sockets. He presents you with a gilded pendant in the shape of a wheel. Baron Philippe Alfero, Secret Chancellery Advisor. I imagine you are well aware that we deal with plots, schemes, and revolts against the Empire. I have a matter of great importance to the Empire to discuss with you, Sir Brante. I am aware that the case of the explosion in the square was not assigned to you, but for our purposes, this is actually for the best. The Secret Chancellery has been following this so-called Last Straw group for a long time now. They are the greatest threat to peace in Anazat, but you can help us rid the city of this menace. Baron Alfero produces a neatly folded sheet of paper. This is a list of known insurgents connected to the Last Straw. They haven't blown anyone up just yet. But surely you realize that it would be most imprudent to wait for them to commit their next crime. The time to act is now. You scan the list quickly. Some of the names on it seem somewhat familiar, perhaps from your youth. Find a way, anyway, to implicate them in today's assassination attempt, and you will prevent more explosions in the future. The Empire will rest easy if we can rid ourselves of this scum as quickly as possible. If you render this service to the Secret Chancellor, you may rely on my assistance in the future. As you may suspect, I have more than my fair share of powerful connections. Silence falls. The Secret Chancellery Advisor pierces you with his heavy gaze. Oh shit, we get all of the secret options. If we shelter him, justice goes down, unity and wealth goes up. Gloria likes us. If we obey, we get the patronage of the powerful. Our career goes up, but justice goes down by a lot. That's not gonna happen. We conduct an investigation. Lose. want to ruin my career, I think we conduct an investigation. That might be the best way. We do it properly. You rise from your chair, ready to answer the advisor. You cannot fulfill his order until you have legal grounds for arresting and executing these people. You serve the law, and you will never break it, no matter what you might stand to gain. You will not falsify a case, and you will not hang people on unproven charges. You are willing to investigate the people from the advisor's list thoroughly and punish the guilty, but only if you find proof that they are involved in the insurgency. Baron Alfaro winces in displeasure at these words. Brante, can't you see we're not dealing with ordinary outlaws here? We are fighting an insurgency that has declared war on the Empire. There is no time for the usual formalities. You have to understand that thanks to your indecisiveness, those insurgents will roam free and fashion new bombs for more attacks. But you insist you will not send anyone to the gallows without evidence. Either you do things your way, or the aristocracy will soon be talking about abuse of power at the hands of the secret chancellery. You will see to that. For a while, Philippe considers your words. Very well, Brante, have it your way. Begin your investigation, but if another bomb goes off in Anazot in the meantime, it will be on your head. Then a promising servant of the Empire will stand trial along with the insurgents as their accomplice. I have a handful of good friends as well, Sir Judge. Philippe leaves without saying goodbye. That was rude. He should have said goodbye. And so you begin a lengthy investigation. This was your idea, which means you have to pay the gendarmes and informants out of your own pocket. The gendarmes in your employ tailed every man and woman from the list for the next fortnight. For a long while, none of your suspects does anything suspicious. Over the course of these 2 weeks, you come to bitterly regret getting involved in this business. But Philippe left you no choice. You will either find the truth or get tried along with the insurgents. Baron Alfaro did not look like a man who makes empty threats. Disappointed with this fruitless surveillance, you are about to call it off when one of the commoners suddenly signals to the others to meet. Your raid catches them by surprise in an abandoned house on the edge of the city. Much to your chagrin, the Secret Chancellery was right. You arrest them just as they are plotting another attack. A map of the city hall on the table. A stockpile of weapons and bombs are found in the house. The litigation is quick, and you have all the evidence you need against the insurgents. Every one of them is sentenced to death by hanging. Another last straw cell is no more. Their bodies now dangle in the wind by the still rotting rebels who tried to kill the magistrate. We should be able to pursue Auten now. A year has passed since the day Gloria asked for your protection. You have brought up her lowly position several times in conversations with Father, but every time his face darkens and he asks you to stop. You can feel Stefan's influence behind these refusals. Your only option is to wait for something to change. Meanwhile, emotions are running high in the family. Gloria disappears for days at a time. She is often seen in the company of young citizens of low estate. Father constantly lectures Gloria, telling her that her friends are libertines and troublemakers, and connections like these will be her downfall. Her sister obediently lends an ear to his speeches, then vanishes again. Howdy, Tarada. You're relaxing in the bath after a long day when you suddenly hear rapid footsteps in the hallway and Stefan's angry voice. The door to the bathroom bursts open. Ryan, get dressed. We're waiting for you in the sitting room. It's urgent. Perplexed, you get out of the tub and make yourself presentable. Father and Stefan are waiting for you in the sitting room. Gloria is huddled in a chair in the corner. Your elder brother swiftly locks the door behind you. This bodes ill. So I was on my way to a ball at the El Liberius mansion. I was already on their doorstep when a servant told me that he had been ordered to turn me away. They will not have anything to do with a family whose offspring is a member of a secret society. Father, Ryan, whom do you suppose they meant? Gloria looks at Stefan defiantly, her lips pursed tightly. This is the last straw. You will make pariahs of us all, Gloria. I will not allow you to ruin everything Sir Gregor worked for. Stefan is nearly screaming, but then he pulls himself together and continues in a more composed manner. I'm afraid Lady Gloria cannot remain in this house, but being honorable people, we must provide for her future. Sir Jose El Pelletier is willing to take her as his lawful wife. Gloria, you will be accepted into a household of the nobles of the sword. I have been negotiating with your suitor for quite some time. Who gave you the right to decide my fate behind my back? You aren't even the head of the family. Gloria, you must abide by the decisions of your elders. This family has done so much for you already. Now I'm even going to provide you with a good match. But you're acting like a spoiled child. You will be a nobleman's wife, you fool. You'll be able to write your poems. You'll want for nothing. You'll be able to enjoy your life. Sir El Pelletier has been hounding me for a year now. I can't believe he's in love with me, a lowly common girl. Sure, he's easy on the eyes, he's a skilled warrior and a respected nobleman, but he needs a wife to give birth to his heirs, follow him around obediently at social gatherings, and praise his chivalry. Can't you see that I don't belong in his family? Stuff and nonsense. Father, here's a letter to the El Pelletiers. Sign it as the head of the family. We should invite our future relatives to our house and introduce ourselves to Gloria's future husband and his parents. I hope that Ryan will do his part as well. Father reluctantly skims the letter and frowns. Stefan, why have you never spoken to me about a matter of such importance? No match can be made without my consent. Have I announced my wish for Gloria to be married? Father, she leaves us no choice. You know that we cannot make Gloria a Brante, but our family reputation still suffers because of her rebellious ways. Don't you see that this marriage will benefit everyone? Gloria springs to her feet, choking with rage. You do anything to prevent me from joining this family. This marriage will bring nothing but sorrow to me and Sir Pelletier. All you ever think about is your own interests. Ingrate, I'm looking out for you. And this is how you repay me? Or would you prefer to be cast out for your disgraceful antics? Father, please sign the letter and free us from this debacle once and for all. Gloria rushes towards you in desperation and clasps your hand. Brother, please, you promised you'd never let them kick me out. Challenge Stefan to it. Oh my god. Yeah. We push pressure, unity goes the fuck down, everyone hates us. We challenge Stefan to a duel. You take a step towards Stefan, shielding Gloria from him, and look your adversary right in the eye. Stefan has no authority to decide Gloria's fate as though she were his property. He will not let anyone order your sister around. She should have become a Brante long ago. I hold myself responsible for our family's good name, but you, Ryan, you wormed your way into the nobility, but you have no idea what nobility means. You're a living proof that noblemen are born, not made. Father intervenes vehemently. Ryan is right, Stefan. You've gone too far. This isn't nobility, it's obsession. It's time you remembered I am the head of this household. You are not Gregor Brante, and you never will be. He takes the letter to the groom's family and tears it into shreds. Stefan's face grows crimson. He can barely contain his rage. If you cannot keep the family in check and defend our honor, Father, then I will have to do it myself. Stefan's words send you into a long, vehement speech. How dare he? Father has dedicated his entire life to this family. Only he knows what is best for it. You're right, Ryan. My fear of your grandfather was too strong, but those days are over. Gloria is Lydia's daughter, the daughter of my wife, and she is my daughter as well. Gloria is shaking now. She cannot believe her ears. Father, what are you saying? Come to your senses. Your dishonor will ruin our entire family. Father does not dignify Stefan's words with a response. His eyes are fixed slowly on Gloria. Dishonor does not frighten me. Gossip does not frighten me. Come to me, my daughter Gloria Brante. Gloria falls on her adoptive father's shoulder, racked by silent tears. Father! You join their embrace. Gloria squeezes your hand with hers, your sister's eyes glimmering with joy and gratitude. Furious, Stefan tears you away from one another. No, as long as I live, this will never be. Stefan has left you no choice. Gloria is a Brante now, and you will protect her by any means necessary. If your brother won't listen to words, then your blades will do the talking. You challenge your elder brother to a duel. Father and Gloria are speechless. Even Stefan is stunned at first. Quickly regains his composure. Sir Ryan Brante, I accept your challenge. We shall duel to the true death. Father intervenes. His shock gives way to fury. This is madness! My son's fighting to the death. Never! Stefan moves away from Father, cold and indifferent. The honor of our family's at stake. I see no one is willing to relent. Why continue this dispute? We must settle this once and for all. I forbid it as your father and as a prefecture judge. Calm yourself, Father. My honor is mine alone. You have no claim to it. Brother, we shall duel tomorrow at sunrise in the barren field by the city wall. Be ready. With a sharp turn, Stefan strides out of the room, perfectly composed. Father grows pale. He collapses into an armchair and buries his face in his arms. Gloria rushes to your side. Ryan, what have you done? I asked you to protect me. I didn't ask for this. You're fools, both of you. Can't you resolve this without spilling blood and taking lives? You shake your head slowly. Not in this case, you can't. It is time to prepare for the duel. Only one of you is coming back. And it's gonna be me, bitches. Duel impending. Oh boy. Oh, the music. This music. This is the kind of music that plays in movies that makes you fucking cry. Dude, even this game is so fucking well made. Because even though that pretty much, depending, you can pretty much end up, like, I hate Stefan. But because of their choice in music, and because of, kind of the reactions of our siblings and our father, even though you hate Stefan, the music choice just really hits home that this is sad. That this is tragic. Oh, this game. Dude, I'm loving this game. I'm loving. It is early in the morning and dreadfully windy. In a barren field by the city wall, two lonely figures approach one another. You and Stefan face each other, swords at the ready. Stefan glares at you. There is sadness in his eyes. Quite the twist of fate. Seems I have learned defense only to fight my own little brother. Remember how you hit me hard with a stick when we were boys, and your mother scolded you for brandishing a weapon? Who knew it was all leading to this? You regret what is about to happen, you reply. But this is the only way your conflict can be resolved. Stefan nods gloomily. Childhood memories cloud your faces. Playing, fighting, pretending defense. It takes you both an effort to remain in the present. Cloaks come off. Ceremonious bows are exchanged. You can both sense the shades of your Brante ancestors watching you. The sacred ritual is underway. For noblemen, there is no higher judgment. Your duel to the true death begins. Your elder brother wastes no time opening with a flurry of strikes. His skill and mastery is truly commendable. You dodge, parry, and block, but Stefan keeps driving you back. The morning air is cool, yet your dress shirt is already soaked with sweat. The tip of his blade slashes and weaves through the air, almost invisible to the eye. Stefan is wearing you down. You cannot last long like this. The sweat is streaming down your forehead. Now your tired muscles ache and seize. Your brother's first blow lands. A glancing cut, or blood-red line on your sleeve. You grit your teeth. You began studying swordblade too late, brother. You have only been defending so far, but now you notice that Stefan is growing exhausted himself. When the time is right, you go on the counterattack. And now you are the one showering with a flurry of blows. Your elder brother is stepping back, surprised by your onslaught. A jab, another. You take another swing with your trusty blade. Stefan deflects your blow with an artful feint and moves swiftly to the side. Your foe is on your left now. You are defenseless. Oh, Are we gonna... What Oh no. Stefan's blade rises. You have but one moment to act before he does. Your life and your brothers are hanging by a thread. Alright, so why can't we resort to dirty tricks? Because our relationship isn't good. And because... Alright, so we're not a skilled enough warrior. If I overcome death... Oh, okay, so because I have high and a bunch of other things... Ooh, our willpower is gonna tank, though. we need... We don't need willpower to convict him. So it's either we die or our brother. No, of course there's only... That is the only option from the get-go. You muster all your strength to parry Stefan's strike and save your life. Goodbye, brother. The sword swishes through the air. But your hands act faster than you think. You turn around just in time. In a flash, your brother's blade recoils, deflected. Stefan barely stifles a gasp of surprise. How the... Stefan is the one who is defenseless now. You waste no time retaliating. Blow hits home. Your sword runs through your brother's chest. Stefan staggers backward, a look of surprise on his face. A strange gurgling noise comes out of his throat as he falls to his knees. His eyes grow dim now. The tiniest red dot blots his dress shirt. Stefan's lips move. His voice is less than a whisper. You lean closer to him. Noble victory. Proud of you, brother. A faint smile glimmers on his lips as his face loses all color. You listen, but there are no more words now, only his breathing weak and hoarse. Stefan falls prone on the cold, hard ground, coughing up blood, convulsing, shaking. Then, at last, he grows still. Stefan Brante, your elder brother, has died his true death in your arms. You take Stefan's lifeless body home. He will rest in the family crypt now. Stefan's soul will join your family's blood tide, an unseen specter watching over you all. The home is quiet, silence rings in your ears. Father awaits you at the door, his face a frozen mask of grief and pain. But you are the one who has returned. I have no words, Ryan. A long moment passes before Father speaks again. Only I knew your quarrel would cost me one of my sons. Well, I should have had you arrested for an attempted duel, but Stefan would never have allowed that twins, damn it. Father collapses in an armchair, hiding his face in his hands. It takes some time before he has enough strength to speak again. There is nothing that can be done now. The judgment of noble honor has been rendered. We must accept this loss. I have lost my firstborn son, my heir. Very well, Ryan. You are now the family's eldest son and the heir of the Brante family. Remember this, you are now responsible for the fate of our family, or what is left of it. You withdraw to your room. Wash the blood off your shoulder and collapse onto the bed. You are overwhelmed by memories. You remember your brother leading you by the hand through the yard. You remember sitting at the big table on the porch, poking each other in the arm. You remember marching through the streets of Anazat at night, looking for Gloria. You remember Stefan embracing you tightly when you returned from the capital. Soon you see Stefan for the last time at his funeral. Your elder brother's body is now gone forever, reposing in the depths of the crypt. Did he reach the peak of the shining pillar? Or was he doomed to suffer at the foot for all eternity? Your family is quiet. They will not meet your eyes. Ah! The pain! Oh, it hurts. Oh, that was actually really sad. Fuck! I wasn't actually expected to get sad over Stefan's death. I had been wanting this since they were children, and now I'm sad. That's how you know it's good writing. Oh. Oh, man. Ooh, Unity is fucked. And I need to get our willpower up. I feel like the next choice I have to take the willpower choice, because if I don't have willpower, I feel like we get locked out of so many options. After many years, the simmering, unceasing hostilities between Overseer Gaius Tempest and Archduke Miladinis have finally come to an end. The Archduke has abandoned all attempts to collect additional taxes from the people. By my grace, I hereby release the common people of Magra from the Archduke's tax. All hail the dynasty of Miladinis, which has protected you since time immemorial. Farmers and merchants can finally heave a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the Archduke soon withdrew from all provincial affairs, sequestering himself in his ancestral castle of Serpenverde. The gentry who remained loyal to the Archduke are baffled. Has he accepted defeat at the hands of the Overseer, or is this just an elaborate ruse? Either way, with the Archduke out of the picture, the senior gentry of Magra have lost some of their influence to the Overseer and his retinue of budding dynasties and nobles of the mantle. The feud between the two Archnean rulers has ended, but the noble estate has been split nonetheless. The common people see this as yet another reason to demand change. Another year of service as a judge is behind you, but you have no time to celebrate. Your days are filled with unremarkable litigation and similar-looking complaints. Again and again, you see poorly written complaint forms. They claim that noble landowners are extorting money, punishing commoners for nothing, doing whatever they please. You have noticed a change in tone, from pleading to desperate to quietly furious. The lowborn lot is to suffer, but how much longer can they endure? Every day, once the petty litigation has been dealt with, you return to Otten's case. Again and again, for 2 years now, you search for a way to do the unthinkable. To have an Archnean and the High Commander at that convicted for his crimes. You have not heard from Otten since your encounter at the City Hall, but he likely has spies among the judges and gendarmes. Sooner or later, he will realize the true state of your progress and find a way to get rid of this case. And you, unless you are prepared to strike the first blow. But what should you do? Will you speak against Otten in public and summon him to a trial? Is there any other way to deal with the High Commander? Either way, now is not the time, and so you wait and prepare. Alright, so like the last thing of our peacetime, I guess, is going to be dealing with the case of Otten. As you approach the steps of the prefecture today, a line of Legion soldiers wearing red cloaks bar your path. They are the personal guard of the provincial overseer. Has Gaius Tempest graced you with his august presence? You enter only after presenting your judge's signet to the guards. The common room of the prefecture is remarkably quiet and deserted. All petitioners have been chased away. The judges and gendarmes do not dare to leave their offices. Everyone is afraid to breathe. The overseer, the emperor's own brother, has arrived completely unexpectedly. The guards standing watch say you are expected at the prefect's office. You are escorted upstairs. Elborn is visibly anxious. The honored guest is there, reclining in the prefect's comfortable chair, his crimson fur-trimmed cloak cast over its back. His overseer Gaius Tempest himself. You bow deeply to the overseer. He acknowledges your presence with a quick nod and turns back to Elborn. Well, Elborn, I am positively incensed to see what has become of this city under your care. I put you in this seat to instill order under imperial law, but you have given the commoners too many freedoms. And now they are revolting against their lot in the Emperor's rule, plotting, forming secret societies, and now an explosion in Anazat, an attempt on the magistrate's life. Everyone in the city is talking about some group called the Last Straw. This is unthinkable. Elborn accepts the blame without any sign of emotion, but you notice the muscles twitch behind the wrinkles on his face. I have ordered the Secret Chancellery to deal with this Last Straw, but their leader, a low-born woman named Sophia, is still at large. Last night I ordered a Legion squad to set a trap for this Sophia. We almost had her, but then an Archnean appeared and attacked the soldiers. Elborn glances at you, confused, an unspoken question in his eyes. Did you hear that, Brante? An Archnean, defending a low-born woman. But how? Indeed, Prefect. One Anthony Fess, a young Archnean of little note. It seems he now values low-born insurgents more than his high birth, his honor, and his loyalty to the Imperial dynasty. Baron Alfaro of the Secret Chancellery has been tracking him for quite some time. The young man began mingling with revolutionary rabble and has since lost his mind. Now he swings his sword about in defense of the rights of the common folk. Let us leave the insurgents to the Secret Chancellery, that is their duty. What concerns me, however, is Anthony Fess. My legionnaires were nipping at the insurgents' heel, and then this Archnean appeared and murdered 5 soldiers. Those poor souls were utterly flummoxed, unsure whether to fight back or humbly accept a death at the hands of an Archnean. Mind boggles, Your Eminence. An Archnean has broken the law for the sake of the common estate. I assume Your Eminence has a plan for this, Sir Fess. Would that I had even a semblance of a plan! What a sordid predicament. Anthony Fess is a traitor who has committed a great offense against the crown, yet he is an Archnean. I shudder to think what might happen here were he to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This has never happened in all of the province's history. The Archnean dynasties will not tolerate it, and Archduke Milanitis will be swift to take advantage of the situation and undermine my authority in the province. Your Eminence, the law of the Empire is the same for all its subjects. Perhaps it would be better to have its power demonstrated once and for all. Sir Fest challenged more than the soldiers of the Legion. He challenged the rule of the Emperor himself. Hellborn, what did I tell you? Prosecuting an Arcanian would represent an even greater threat to my authority. Find another way. This Fest is young and hot-tempered, so push him to the breaking point in the courtroom. Get him to draw his sword. Let everyone see him for the dangerous traitor he is. Even for an Arcanian, this would be an unforgivable transgression. Not even the Archduke would dispute a verdict against him. Guys, Tempest's gaze focuses on you. You do your best to show no emotion and remain as invisible as possible until the Overseer gives you permission to speak. Judge Brante, you are here for a reason. You will handle the persecution. I'd rather have Sir Prefect deal with this mess of a case himself, but he is too powerful to risk if it fails. Rest assured, many nobles and Arcanians will demand you set him free no matter how much evidence you have against him. The traitor Fest must be punished, but I ask you to ensure that my reputation remains untarnished. I have no intention of going down in history as the Overseer who allowed our inviolable Arcanian rights to be compromised. That would be crossing the line. Prepare your case. Gaius Tempest rises from his seat in the blink of an eye and walks out, escorted by his guards. For a few seconds, utter silence fills the prefect's office. Then at long last, Hellborn feels he no longer has to restrain himself. He blames me for what is going on. Me, his most loyal human. No, I will do everything I can to have that criminal punished. Do you realize how much it will advance our cause if we can get that Arcanian condemned in a court of law? This is the only way we can instill the rule of law in these lands, Brante. The Overseer insists that a trial be scheduled for tomorrow. Anthony Fest has been located. He was found and surrounded by gendarmes on the street. However, he did not resist and gave his word of honor to stand trial. You barely have time to prepare the charges before entering the courtroom. The normally half-empty seats in the courtroom are crowded today. The highest ranks of the aristocracy and the most noble families and dynasties all focus their gaze on you as soon as you step inside. In the depths of the courtroom, you notice Octavia Milonitis surrounded by her retinue of young ladies. The Archduke's daughter watches the trial unfold with a wry, indifferent smile. You ascend to the podium. Prefect Hellborn himself presides over this board of judges. The courtroom doors swing open and the defendant Anthony Fest enters escorted by Escorted by gendarmes. The young Arcanian is dressed in a defiantly modest garb for his status. No embellishments, no jewelry, just a simple linen undershirt. However, he still carries a sword, as expected from a high-born noble. You read the charges as procedure demands. Sir Anthony Fest willfully caused the lesser deaths of 5 soldiers of the Legion, thereby allowing a number of the last straw insurgents to escape punishment. Murmuring fills the courtroom. The Arcanian's large, dark eyes watch closely, catching every motion in the hall. But suddenly, Anthony Fest interrupts you to speak for himself. People of Anazoth, I was not brought here by force today. I broke the law, and I'm ready and willing to be held accountable for all of you. I fought those Legion soldiers, and I killed him. Did I violate Imperial law? Yes, I did. Yet does anyone even bother to count the transgressions committed by our rulers on a daily basis? Why does this law exist if no one follows it? I do not accept a law that offers no salvation from eternal tyranny for the common estate. By my birth, I was given the power to rule over humans, but if suffering is all that rule brings, then I reject it. I am ready and willing to sacrifice my very life for the sake of justice, so that all citizens of the Empire will begin to respect the law. The young Arcanian's words, loud and desperately audacious, spark turmoil in the courtroom. The stunned board of judges is at a loss for words. The gendarmes freeze in confusion, and the nobles are terrified. You hear their screams, "Madman! Pull yourself together! You're no commoner, you're an Arcanian!" Is it because I have no willpower? Fuck. The courtroom is on the verge of exploding with tension. The gendarmes try in vain to placate the audience. The board of judges looks to you. As the prosecutor, you must continue reading the charges against the defendant. The fate of the rebellious Arcanian is in your hands, but you have what it takes to make the most of this situation. What am I missing? Reputation? Patronage. Patronage. Fuck. What about here? Oh. Because Milonitis doesn't like me. Yep, it's because we don't have willpower. God damn it! Ah! Do I gain willpower back for quitting him? No, I don't. I don't gain willpower for this. Why Why couldn't they have given me one story before this? I don't want to click this button. I don't want to click it. No, I refuse. Fuck. But at least we gain money, though. We gain money. You loudly call for attention. Some time passes before you restore order in the court and continue your opening remarks, albeit with a sudden, unexpected twist. There has been a misunderstanding, you say. Indeed, Sir Anthony Fess engaged in combat with Legion soldiers, but only because their brazen behavior left him no choice but to defend his honor. Naturally, you say the insurgents were not involved in any way. There can be doubt that no Arcanian of noble birth would ever defy the sacred rule of the Emperor. Surely the Honorable Board of Judges would agree. The nobles in the courtroom, left stunned and speechless by the young Arcanian's words a moment ago, seem to awaken from their daze. They applaud you. Hear, hear, they cry. Hands off the Arcanians. Only Octavia of Milonitis remains silent in the back row, her face contorted in a disdainful smirk. Anthony Fess looks around the courtroom dumbfounded. He tries to speak again, but you cut him off before he can even begin. You continue your speech. This young Arcanian nobleman has allowed his roiling ancient blood and desire for greatness to speak louder than reason. We should not misinterpret his youthful fervor as treason. Anthony Fess is clearly innocent and must be freed at once. Your speech concluded, you catch your breath. But when you look up, your eyes meet Elborn's heavy, scornful gaze, devoid of all respect. The prefect sighs painfully, grievously, and reaches for his gavel. Due to the absence of any charges, the court has no choice but to find Sir Anthony Fess not guilty. You're free to go, but remember, the laws of the Empire represent the will of our Emperor and the twins themselves. The aristocracy applauds this just verdict from the stalls. The gendarmes hurry the rebellious Arcanian out of the courtroom before he can utter another word. The prefect walks down from the podium, his eyes trained on you, full of chagrin. Not only have you let me down, Brante, you've also shown everyone that Arcanians are above the law, even if they commit crimes out in the open. I had hoped that this outrageous call for rebellion would finally force an Arcanian to face justice. That the aristocracy would rather tolerate a singular madman's revolt than risk their immunity from the legal process. Fortunately for you, the prefect is quickly surrounded by nobles. Excited by the case of Anthony Fess, they have questions that demand answers. You slip out of the courtroom, only to run into a crowd of commoners, but to your surprise, they shower you with adoring cries. All hail Judge Brante, they shout. He saved good Sir Fess. The news that you have rescued the sole Arcanian fighting for the Lowborn is quick to spread all across Anazat. A letter arrives almost immediately after the trial bearing the Overseer's seal. Gaius Tempest makes no attempt to conceal his anger. Entrusting this case to you was a mistake, Judge. You failed to resolve it in a worthy fashion. Anthony Fess is now at large, free to rouse the people to revolt as he pleases. Do not blame yourself. It was my own fault for assigning a delicate matter of such importance to a man who was but recently a commoner. You let out a heavy sigh. It seems everyone in Magra has their own reason to condemn your decision. Ugh. We gained... that just went wrong. Uh-oh. That's not good. News of your latest actions spreads rapidly across Anazat. You have made many enemies during your years as a judge, and now is their chance to strike. Your career is hanging by a thread. You have to fight off accusations, denouncements, and slander just to retain your position. A quiet knock at the door interrupts your musing. The imposing figure of Judge Carlo Fakograbin solemnly floats into your office. We hardly ever see each other these days, Brante. I have decided to pay you a visit with the most cordial of intentions, of course. I've been hearing everywhere that things are not going well for you. So I ask myself the question, how could a man of your talents quarrel with almost all of Anazat High Society? I'm sure you are simply misguided, but worry not, I will show you the way. Many judges see you as a threat. They think that your daring rulings are putting the entire prefecture in danger. Let's examine your latest case, for instance. Its outcome enraged all the nobility of the city. But I know you aren't what they say you are. The others need to see how much you care for your colleagues in our institution. Take my advice, Ryan. Don't forget that it is a judge's job to maintain law and order among the estates, not destroy it. Admit your error and reconsider at least some of your past decisions in favor of the nobility. Do this, and I assure you, society will come to see you as a respectable nobleman and a wise judge once again. Do not emulate our prefect. You know that I hold Elborn in the highest esteem. Between you and me, he's on the edge of a precipice, and he's dragging you down with him. Promise me you'll think about what I've said, Brante. I'm only concerned about your well-being. I care about the career of a promising judge like you. Bakugraman takes you a bow and leaves as silently as he came. You reread your latest cases, lost in thought. This is what has turned high society against you. Your enemy's schemes are preventing you from continuing your work. You need to find a way out of the situation. Yeah, because we don't have a powerful benefactor. Oh my god. Oh. But if we fucking... We don't have much... Ah! I don't think I'm gonna be able to get fucking Auten accused. I don't think I can do it. But I can go down to 1. I refuse to give in. I refuse. As soon as Bakugraban vanishes behind the door, you put the old cases away in a drawer and get back to work. New lawsuits, litigations, and pleas demand your attention. Your choices were made long ago. You will not give in or compromise with your conscience. Justice must be upheld. If you don't do it, who will? The consequences are not long in coming. An onslaught of complaints and denunciations comes crashing down upon you. Notable noblemen demand that Elborn throw you out of the prefecture in disgrace. The prefect comes to your defense, but he will not be able to sustain the pressure for long. The other judges simply avoid you like the plague. Upon meeting you in the hallway, Carlo Bakugraban just shakes his head solemnly and keeps walking. You are forced to fight to keep your position. Work feels like a battlefield now, and with each passing day, your enemies close in on you. Soon they will attack, and you will have to make your last stand. I really need some willpower here. I hope we get some willpower from Mother's death. It's so fucked up to say. Please give me willpower, Mother. Oh, fuck. Deafening silence fills your home. You're standing by Mother's bedside, so are Father, Gloria, and Nathan. For an entire day, Mother has been feverish, barely conscious. Gloria never leaves her side, not even for a minute. Nathan has even stopped drinking so he can offer your sister his awkward help. Mother's health deteriorated greatly over the past year, and the fighting in the family home has dealt a great blow to her. She has been bedridden for a month. You have been to every doctor and folk healer, but no one can help her. They all tell you the same thing. Lady Lydia's life is in the hands of the twins now. If she passes away, she will not come back. And so you wait by Mother's bed in sorrow, hoping that she will regain consciousness. There is a long silence that no one has the courage to break. Then at last you hear Nathan's meek voice. Mother, it's me, Nathan. Can you hear me? Mother suddenly rises on her elbows. She looks around, her eyes unseeing, beads of sweat forming on her pale forehead. My son, where are you? Nathan takes Mother by her thin, emaciated hand. She leans closer to look at him, struggling to recognize his face. Stefan, were you playing with your younger brothers in the garden? You must be old Daddy, come here. You may not be my son, but I care for you as though you were my own. Oh, what a nice, happy family we have, a blessing from the twins. Nathan is unsure what to do or say. Father strokes his wife's hair. His eyes are two orbs of searing, indescribable pain. We're a little confused, Lydia. This Nathan. And the children are all grown up now, remember? Mother's eyes were bright and alive just now, but the next moment they grow dim again. Her head falls weakly back onto the pillow. You're right, my husband. Children grew up, but I was never able to teach them how to live in peace with each other. They let you down, Robert. You made a mistake when you took me to your home. Saved my daughter and me from a life of poverty, and how did I repay you? Gloria cannot take it anymore. What are you saying, Mother? Don't you dare blame yourself. You did your best. You did all you could. Father looks away, unable to hold back the deluge of tears. Mother's voice, so faint now, calls out to you. Ryan, where is he? With great care, you move closer to Mother. You answer her quietly. You're here, right by her side. And I'm so happy to know you're here. I always knew greatness awaited you ever since you were a little boy. What a shame I won't be there to see it. couldn't save the Brante family, I will face my punishment at my final judgment. Don't worry, my dears. I am ready to stand before the twins. Lydia Brante's voice trails off. No longer a voice, just a final whisper of life. Will you accept your mother's death, or will you find a way to fight for her life? All right. Oh. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. I don't get Will. No. We're fucked. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is real bad. Oh, this is not good at all. This is not good. Oh, no. No. This sucks. Your heart aches and grows numb as you realize the inevitable. There is nothing you can do to help your dying mother. There is nothing that would give her strength. Her family has grown weak from all the spite and strife that has filled your home. Even now at mother's deathbed, you can feel the enmity, disappointment, and anger driving your family apart. Children, accept this humbly. Her voice trails off, her eyes grow dull, her cold hands release yours, fall onto the bed and grow still. The last emotion on mother's face is a sadness born of exhaustion. A scream of despair rips itself out of Gloria's throat. We did this to her! We fought so much that we killed her! Me, Stefan, Ryan! Nathan yelps with grief. He runs away howling. Father slowly sits and takes his late wife's hands in his. His tears flow no more. His eyes stare far into the distance, empty and bleak. Lydia. You mourn her together, but alone. You leave the house to roam the garden, empty and numb. Mother has left this world for the peak of the pillar to face the twins' judgment. She spent all her life preparing for this journey, but now her mortal life is ended. She is no longer here. Never again will she gather her family at the table. Never again will she ever offer a word of solace in trying times. Never again will she greet you with her quiet, humble smile. You bury your face in your hands. Lydia Brante, your mother, has left this world. This sucks. Will I at least get willpower from this? I need willpower, man. I need it badly. The tension at home has become insufferable. Everyone in your family has been driven to the brink by the unending bickering and fighting. Even the smallest family matter is bound to provoke hours of arguments and a drove of mutual insults. Tonight, you can already hear it from the doorstep. Screams of fury, shrill, sobbing. You watch Father run down the stairs. He is absolutely livid. Twins grant me strength. How am I even supposed to get along with my own family now? You ask what brought it on this time, but all your question does is draw Father's ire upon you. Of course, you have no idea what's going on. You're doing nothing, Ryan. Nothing at all to return peace to this family. You're just fanning the flames. Father stops himself before he can utter another word. He hurries to his study. The door shuts and locks. At last, the house is quiet, but is far from calm. Ouch. No, stop losing willpower. Stop with the losing willpower, please. Millennites want theft. It has been a long time since your last encounter with Octavia Milenitis. You have come to expect to run into her from time to time in the most unusual of circumstances. But Octavia has all but disappeared, vanished completely from Imperial high society. Then one night you come home to find a letter bearing the heraldic serpents of the Milenitis dynasty. The handwriting is not Octavia's. This letter was penned by the Archduke himself. We, Duke Tarquinius of the Great Milonitis Dynasty, salute you, Judge Ryan Brante. We have been made aware of your relationship with our daughter Octavia, but we shall leave the particulars of this relationship for another time. Lady Octavia has disappeared. It has been 1 month since she was last seen in any of our holdings within the city of Anazot. We Archduke Milonitis, expect you, Brante, to aid us in finding our lost daughter. Tread carefully, lest you attract unwanted attention to this matter. The reputation of the Milonitis dynasty is at stake. Do not fail us, Judge Brante. The Archduke's expectation represents a direct order to find her as soon as possible. To refuse him would spell certain and immeasurable disaster. You begin looking for Octavia immediately. The building where the Circle of Latari used to gather was abandoned long ago. You have no hope of finding any of Octavia's followers there. You decide to search the prefecture archives. You spend an entire morning going through each and every case and reports concerned with ancient races and rituals of old, even indirectly. After a long search, you finally stumble upon a familiar name, Alexis L. Lance. A noble from an influential bloodline. You impersonated him when you infiltrated the Circle of Latari 2 years ago. The archives say that L. Lance was reported multiple times to be searching for another faith, and claimed he was seeking to understand the design of the twins in his own way. You chuckle upon seeing this. The original L. Lance was one of the first humans ennobled by Tsar Milonitis himself. The proud name of his forefather is the only thing that has saved the willful Alexis from the Inquisition's pyres. Regardless, he is your only clue to Octavia's whereabouts. You head for the L. Lance mansion at once. You tell the servants at the door that you have an urgent matter to discuss with their master. A tall, gaunt nobleman with a thick beard walks down the stairs to greet you, studying you intently during the introduction. His eyes seem to be locked in a perpetual state of pain, but it is different from the ever-familiar pain and suffering of the common lot. You inform Alain sternly that you are aware of his involvement in the Circle of Latari, and hint that his noble origins may not save him from an inquisitorial visit this time. You are looking for Octavia Milonitis. Where is she? The eccentric nobleman lets out a rueful chuckle. He is not one to hide the truth. The Circle of Latari is here, within these walls, Alance tells you. Lady Milonitis is currently conducting a ritual of the utmost importance. No one may interfere. This rite will return the Latari to this world. Or rather, it will return the world to the eternal fold of the Latari. You resolutely walk past Alance and his intellectualizing, and march up the stairs. The servants rush to stop you, but one stern glance is enough to remind them of their lot. Upstairs, you hear the familiar droning chant. You fling open the massive gilded double doors leading to the sitting room. The silhouettes in gilded masks and flowing garb are here, undulating in their dance and producing all manner of strange sounds. In the center of their dancing circle is Octavia Milonitis lying prostrate on the floor. Octavia is dying. A sea of blood has already been drained from her slashed wrist, but she is still alive. You break through the circle of Latari followers and rush to Octavia's side. The Arcane opens her dark eyes to look at you. The world reflected in them growing faint and dim. She wheezes a true death rattle. Octavia's body melts away in your arms. Long fingers rest on your shoulder. They belong to Alexis Alance. Lady Octavia will not be reborn, he tells you. She has left her body and soul alike. She has become Latari. Without a word, the members of the circle slowly part and spread out around the large room. The deed is done, says Alance. Sending one of our number to commune with Latari is the most we could have hoped for. Before you can compose yourself, the creature that it was once Octavia flows into the room. Everyone falls silent, watching in wonder and awe. You can still recognize Octavia's features in this creature. It seems to float in the air, its body thinner, its skin now gilded and reflective in the candlelight, its eyes larger and bizarrely elongated. Octavia's followers cover the creature's delicate shoulders with a cloak and stand reverently before it. The creature that was once an Archnean approaches you slowly, without touching the ground at all. Its voice drones remote and distant like an echo from a faraway realm. You have borne witness to a rebirth. The one you call Octavia Milonitis is no more. The mind of the Latari now resides within this body. The one called Octavia has cast off the shackles of your narrow world. She is awakened now free of blood type, birth, and only with such burdens. She sees the world as it exists in the mind of the Latari. The only true world, for all other worlds exist within it. Neither you nor any other denizen of your illusory world can return the one called Octavia to her cave. You must leave, human Ryan Brante. One you seek is no more. Oh fuck. bathhouse. I let her go. We let her go. We let her go. You reach out and put your hand on the shoulder of the creature that was once Octavia. Its body is so delicate now, so fragile, that you fear to shatter it with a single touch. The gaze of its abyssal, almond-shaped eyes is utterly inhuman. You know nothing of what she is doing or why. Tell her the reborn Octavia, but you will not hinder her. You must be careful. The Archduke will search for her relentlessly. The creature that calls itself Loterie reacts with a satisfied smile that reminds you of the old Octavia. The one called Octavia knew you would protect us. I. You will be grateful for your assistance. He held you dear, human Ryan. The Loterie will meet you again, but for now we must see the world with new eyes. Onward! The creature's fingers trace the outlines of your face. Your body reacts to this touch with a flurry of emotions and sensations you cannot even attempt to describe. The creature once known throughout the province as Octavia Milonitis floats down the stairs and disappears from sight. Dazed, you watch the members of the circle part and walk away without a word. You are soon left alone. As soon as you recover from this experience, you head to Castle Serpenverda. The Archduke will not tolerate any delays when it comes to his daughter's fate. The guards escort you to the ancient throne room, the same room where Octavia once met you herself. On the throne sits the Archduke, sullen and dour. His face resembles that of a bird of prey. His lips are tightly pressed. His body is hunched and tensed. You kneel before the reigning lord of the province. I have no time for formalities, Brante. Tell me what happened to her. You remain kneeling, your eyes cast down. You tell him that you have been unable to find Octavia. You searched all across the city and questioned everyone who had ties to the Archduke's daughter. It was all in vain. You have failed to carry out his order. Archduke Milonitis listens, showing no emotion, but his hand clutches at his scepter harder and harder with every word. Does he even believe what you are saying? You had a service you could have performed for me, Brante, a service that would have brought honor to your family. Instead, you have failed me. I will remember this when your father requests to be ennobled by the sword. You should forget all ties you had to Octavia as well in my orders. Forever. Well, we are not getting ennobled by the sword. I think that's impossible now. Fuck. The high road takes you back to Anazat, empty in the dark night. You cannot help but think of Octavia, or of the creature she has become. The creature that called itself Loterie has disappeared without a trace. The Archduke's men scour the entire city, but cannot find her. Will you ever see her fragile, ethereal silhouette again? And we still have no willpower. The sitting room is brightly illuminated by dozens of candles. Today, the tapestry bearing the Brante family crest, an oak branch wrapped in chains, hangs above the fireplace. The petitions have been granted and the paperwork is already. Today, Gloria will join the Brante family and become your father's lawful daughter. Gloria is standing by the fireplace, clothed in a modest black dress, quite unlike her usual trousers and men's jacket. Even her hair is braided today. For the sake of this momentous occasion, she is behaving as reservedly as she can, though she often glances at you with gratitude. Father steps forward solemnly and makes a speech as the family watches in profound silence. Come closer, Gloria, and become a branch of the Brante family tree. Gloria kneels humbly before the man she has called Sir Robert all her life. He holds his hand in front of her face as the ceremony demands. From this day forth, you shall be a full member of this family, your fate now bound with ours. Bear your name with honor, and may the Brante family prosper with you. Gloria leaves a filial kiss on the fingers of his outstretched hand. Now rise, Gloria Brante. Slowly, gracefully, confidently, Gloria rises to her feet. For the first time since childhood, she looks and seems like your older sister. With a smile, father at last embraces his adopted daughter as a parent. Gloria warmly responds to his embrace, then hurries to you. Ryan, we're legally brother and sister now. I owe it all to you. I swear I'll never forget what you've done for me. I promise I'll be more careful from now on. I'll only do what's best for the family whose name I bear. You'll answer her without hesitation. Gloria has always been your family. All you did was make it official. Your sister squeezes your hand in excitement. her day. The day she has been waiting all her life. Ooh. Oh no. I don't think things are good. I think this family's fucked. Shit. Looks like I'm joining a rebellion, boys. That is the only way to fix our lot in life now. Oh no. Oh no. Let me guess. I mean, we could still sentence him. We still have the possibility. Recent events have dealt a crushing blow to the reputation of the Brante family. You have slipped in the realm of infamy and disgrace. So far, the noble families of the city have patiently endured your transgressions, but now you have lost face in their eyes. Noble society is eager to bring your every dusty scandal back into the light. Old offenses, ancient grievances, and naturally father's marriage to Lydia Brante and Glory's ignoble origins. And they have surely not forgotten that the sons of Robert and Lydia Brante, Ryan and Nathan, were born out of wedlock. None of the nobles will ever say this to your face, of course. Their behavior will seem perfectly ordinary on the surface. But no matter where you go now, you will be followed by scornful glances and dismissive whispers. We have to accept this and humbly bear this burden. All hope of being a noble by the sword is lost. No matter what we do to restore our name, we will never wash away this mark of dishonor. Ow. This sucks. This sucks a lot. Alright, what's fucking going on now? Oh. Will we finally get willpower? Please, just give me some fucking willpower. Oh my god, I need it! This is a day you remember well. It began with a loud, impatient knock at the door. You were surprised to see Thomas paying a visit to your own home. There's joy on his face as your old friend shakes your hand. Brante, it's been a while since I saw you last. I just got back to the city. I visited my folks and ran straight here. Otten finally stopped hounding me. I sure hope that the whole mess is over for good. You invite your friend in, but he gestures for you to wait, a sly smile on his face. I'm in a hurry right now, buddy. So much to do, so little time. I'll explain. I just got back from Selmina. There was this girl in the village, a shopkeeper named Mira. She gave me shelter, and I ended up falling head over heels in love with her. You congratulate your friend and pat him on the shoulder with joy. He laughs happily. My poor mom and pa, all their life they'd hoped I'd marry a noble woman. I used to hope for that too when I was young, but now I know some things matter more than noble titles. Mira's about to be my wife. You offer Thomas words of congratulations, but he suddenly grows serious. Otten's left me alone, but Mira and I will still be better off far away from Anazot. I wasn't happy serving in the Legion anyway. I thought the nobleman's lot would set me free from suffering and do the same for my descendants. But it just ain't that simple. I was less free than ever. I'll be better off as a commoner again, earning my living by the sweat of my brow. A farmstead might not be an estate, but the high and mighty won't ever set their sights on me again. I'll live my life in peace just like I wanted. I've just got one last request for you, though, Ryan. You've done so much for me, but I'd be honored if you'd be a witness to my wedding vows before the twins. Ooh. Alright, we bid him farewell. Willpower! Yes! Give it to me, please! Your hand comes to rest on Thomas's shoulder. It would be an honor and privilege for you to be a witness at your friend's wedding. Thomas glows with joy. Wonderful, you've got no idea how much this means to me, Ryan. I gotta go get ready. Several days later, you follow your childhood friend to a smallish temple nestled on the edge of the Brass District. He is wearing a plain white shirt. Needless luxuries are forbidden at the austere wedding ritual. You are both welcomed by the bride, a blonde-haired young woman, innocence and hospitality written across her trusting face. The bride's parents stand further away, two aging villagers eyeing the streets of the big city with suspicion. Mira, meet Ryan Brante, my best friend ever since we were lads. You'll bear witness to our oaths before the twins. The bride greets you with a humble bow. 3 of you step inside the temple. You close the doors behind you. Tradition demands no one else be allowed to attend the sacred wedding ritual. An amiable aged priest by the name of Ignatius Aventini meets you inside. Thomas and Miri kneel before the altar. O twins elder and younger, behold these 2 as they kneel before you. They beseech you to join them in eternal wedlock. The candle flames dance and quiver. You hear a strange murmur in the temple. The darkness beneath the vault of the temple ceiling swirls into 2 colossal shades. The bride and groom raise their eyes to them, awestruck. Thomas, dost thou swear thy loyalty to this divine union? I do. The bride assents to the same query. Your turn is next. You stand over the kneeling bride and groom and speak their names as the twins watch over you. Thomas Guerrero and Mira Salmina. One of the colossal shades leans over them, looming like a towering sword, while the other bursts in a beacon of blinding light that illuminates the temple from within. Thomas and Mira look in each other's eyes in amazement. From this moment forth, they are bound to one another by divine law, and divine love fills their hearts. In your side of the twins, Thomas Guerrero and Mira Samina are now man and wife, as Ryan Brante bears witness. The stern, solemn ceremony has ended. It is time to celebrate. A humble but happy feast is to be held in the bride's village. As day gives way to night, you and Thomas leave the revel to enjoy a moment of quiet repose on the front porch. Your old friend looks off into the distance, hopeful. Yeah, remember how we fought in that yard over our little brothers? Look how much has happened since then. Both of you laugh as you recall the beginning of your friendship. I'll treasure those memories forever, I will. And you can be sure that my firstborn son's name will be Ryan. Oh, fuck yeah! Thomas chuckles, pondering. You and I, we grew up on the same street, but look how different we turned out. You have a say in other people's fates, Brante. Your name will surely be remembered, but me, I'm still a humble nobody, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I used to be so sure a man could never start over with a clean slate, but I guess I was wrong. I'll never forget you, Ryan Brante, and I'll never forget everything you have done for me. A tear runs down your friend's cheek. For the last time, Thomas embraces you. Tomorrow, he will leave Anazov forever. If you ever meet again, nobody knows. Whew. The last few months have been marked by a welcome absence of quarreling at the Brante estate. Your only concerns these days is the price you have had to pay for this peace. Today you come home late, wrung dry after a day of work and worry. Everyone is sound asleep. You are making your way to your bedroom when you hear a suspicious noise coming from Father's study. It is too late for Father to be working. You go to the door of the study, trying to tread softly and turn the knob. The room is brightly lit by the moon. You recognize your brother's clumsy silhouette above Father's desk in the moonlight. Nathan hears you come in and leaps to the side in fear. You see something glinting in his hands. Father's dagger. Oh, Ryan, it's you. Shh. I just took the dagger for a moment. Don't worry. I know holding weapons against my lot. I don't mean anyone any harm. It's for me, actually. I have to go to the twins. What? What? Your younger brother clumsily turns the dagger around, holding it against his own body. You try to remain still. Nathan wants to take one of his own lives, but why? I'm not even sure how to say it, brother. I just can't find a place in this world. I'm always an outsider, always a waste of space. Isn't there some place for me in the twins' design? I cannot stop thinking about it. I've been trying to understand them for so long. How am I supposed to live in their world? What's my place in their great plan? I've only made things worse. I meddled with the Marquian sect, defied and rejected my lot, indulged in advice, but I found nothing there. The old faith, the new faith, Father Mark's heresy, but they gave me all sorts of answers, but none of them worked. There's nothing else left for me now. I've got to go see the twins myself and ask them. I know I'm an affront to their plan just because I'm alive, but I'll repent. I'll pray for their forgiveness. Twins never forgive you, tell Nathan softly. They never have and they never will. You will be judged in the hereafter for every false step you take. Your younger brother sighs heavily. I know. Mother taught us that all our lives, but I still have to try. There's no price. There's no other way. One of my lives isn't too big a price. If it works, I can't find any use for them anyway. See you soon, brother. Hope I'll be different when I come back. Cloud passes over the moon. Father's study grows dark, illuminated only by the shining light of the distant pillar. Nathan's body contorts awkwardly. He raises the dagger, aiming it at his own heart. Well, Mother is dead. So that's impossible. And just because... He's gonna make me lose more fucking... No, I refuse. I refuse. You're gonna make me lose fucking willpower, man! You take a step back. The life that Nathan is about to take belongs to him. He is free to do with it as he pleases. May he finally find an end to his desperate search for meaning. Nathan whispers a word of gratitude, barely audible, then a sharp exhale as he gets ready to strike. His hands guide the dagger awkwardly through the air and into his chest. The sharp tip reluctantly sinks into his flesh. A weak yelp escapes Nathan's throat. He staggers and falls, blood oozing out of the wound. Moments pass and Nathan's body dissipates as his mortal frame dissolves. He has departed to commune with the twins. What awaits him in the hereafter? You pick up Father's dagger, carefully wipe it clean, and put it in the drawer of his desk where it belongs. When the skies begin to grow bright before the dawn, you go to the family crypt to welcome your brother back. Nathan is already there, lying atop the granite slab, even made anew. His naked body is still just as thin, awkward, and feeble. He suddenly stands when he hears your footsteps. His eyes are shining with otherworldly light. I spoke to them, brother. I dared to address them as my soul rose up. I begged the twins for forgiveness, and they heard me. They did. And the elder, he reached out to me. He wanted to respond to me. I know he did. But the younger sword stopped us. It cut the bond between us, and I fell. But I saw compassion in the elder's eyes as I fell, and he followed me. He shall descend to the lands again. He shall witness our suffering and bring his mercy, and then the world will change at last. Your younger brother shivers, almost convulsing with cold. You wrap him in a black cloak. Together you return home before sunrise. No one in your family ever learns of Nathan's lesser death. Nathan stops wasting time in taverns with suspicious characters. He spends every day in ardent prayer again and again. His quiet voice speaks of the elder's coming return. The family watches the drastic change in their wayward son with a great surprise. Watch me need willpower for this next fucking thing. Swear to God. I swear. For over a year now, Anazat has been steadily simmering with unrest, like a soup pot over a well-stoked flame. Commoners flock to the squares in droves, the mobs grow bolder, demanding new freedoms and protection under the law. The last straw insurgents commit brazen acts, hoping to overthrow the authorities. The noble gentry insisted that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for their ancient privilege, sword in hand, in spite of this enormous pressure. Overseer Gaius Tempest remains highly reluctant to allow any bloodshed. But the common people are already too desperate. Even the age-old fear of the nobility's might is barely enough to keep them in check. More and more people are rejecting the lots and converting to the new faith, not to mention other strange or more esoteric teachings and beliefs. New secret societies and clandestine gatherings appear every day. Printed pamphlets litter the streets, and no one is rushing to subdue the citizens or punish the city. For now. Father Leonard has transformed the Temple of the Silver Tree into a new believer stronghold. He is no longer afraid to break the ban on preaching the new faith. His sermons now openly challenge the old faith. It seems the Church of the Twins is unable to recognize its great mistake. The lots must be abandoned as relics of the past. The Twins granted everyone the freedom to choose their own path in this world, and I will not stop until this freedom is recognized throughout the Empire. The next patriarch of Magra must be chosen by the parish, not the clergy. This is the will of the twins, and it must be ours as well. Leonard intends to amend the old order of the church and become patriarch. His opponents, however, are beset by eternal struggle and strife. The Inquisition is fighting a myriad of heresies, more of which appear every day. Not even the highest ranks of the faith are free from suspicion. The new faith, meanwhile, is steadily growing in numbers. People no longer fear being damned to the foot of the pillar for rejecting the divine design. The streets are restless and dangerous. Minds and souls are beset by confusion. The authorities argue and bicker among themselves. Conspiracies plague the city. Time marches on and the change is coming. It cannot be stopped. Can you find a way to guide it in the right direction? The weight of a new age now rests upon your shoulders. Dun dun dun. For over a year now, Enazad has been slowly simmering with unrest. The feud between the estates, between the old faith and the new, between the law of the empire and noble traditions. Tensions are at an all-time high, waiting for the slightest spark to catch fire and burn. Even your family's affairs have been affected by the growing unrest. It is during these troubling times that the future of your family will be decided. Father shakes you awake early in the morning. He is excited, clutching a letter bearing the imperial seal of the Tempest dynasty. Wake up, son. Come to the sitting room. A letter has come from Overseer Gaius Tempest. He gingerly breaks the seal and unfolds the missive. To the Honorable Brante family, I, Gaius of the Tempest dynasty, Overseer of the province of Magra, have given due consideration to your petition to have your bloodline ennobled sword. You are expected in 1 week at Castle Honoree, as are all petitioners of the sword, for you shall hear my decision firsthand. After finishing the letter, Father turns to you. He looks fatigued. Well, son, it's time for us to be honest with each other about our family. What do you have to say about this? Where do we, the Brontes, stand after so many years? What hopes do we have for the future of this family? Fuck! The past 7 years have been marked by many life-changing events. The rare joys, the frequent fights, the arguments, the attempts at peace, the losses. Sometimes you have managed to change their minds and sometimes you have not. But your decisions have made you realize what matters most to you. The future of the Brante family must be decided here and now. All the choices we have. Wow. We have so many options to avoid disaster. So many options. I don't want to click it. I don't even want to look. I refuse. I refuse. Let's look at how we fucked up here. Yeah, this one is because we... Yeah. Yep. I don't even get anything out of this. It's all negative. What? Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? I thought I've been making good choices here, man. What kind of fucking... I'm supposed to be a diplomat. Look at me, I'm a manipulator. What went wrong? What went wrong? God damn. You coldly point out that the family's chance for a hereditary title is long gone, and the family itself, why, all but disintegrated years ago. You failed to quell the strife at home. You could not snuff the coals of enmity that slowly turned your family into disjointed clumps of ash. All attempts to put the family's affairs in order have led to naught. And now it is time to admit that the Brante family is no more. There's deep pain in Father's eyes as he meets your gaze, but he does not argue. Which is why you continue. It would only be reasonable to sever what remains of your family ties. It is for your own good. You have all been strangers for a long time. You may live under the same roof, but you are no family. It is time to end these frantic attempts to fix that which is already beyond repair. Nothing good will come of it. Father is silent. A long moment passes before he speaks. Much as it saddens me to say this, you're right, my son. We failed. I failed as the family patriarch, and I failed my lot. I was chasing after a lofty position and neglected all the troubles in our family. I tried to please everyone, and I let everyone down. All I can say is that your grandfather was right about everything. You put your hand on Father's shoulder. It is not his fault alone. You tell him all of you made mistakes. You too bear a sizable share of the blame. But I am the patriarch, no matter what. I am responsible for this family. What a disgrace, what an embarrassment I am. Father hides his face in his hands. It takes him a while to stifle his silent sobs and muster enough strength to continue. But enough weakness. It is time to accept the inevitable. Family is gone. We must all seek our own fortunes. I will quit my post at the prefecture and leave Anazot. The city has grown far too unsettled as of late. But if any of you ever want to visit my home, my door will be open to you. You leave Father alone with his grief in the sitting room. There is nothing you can do to help him now. You begin to pack your things. It is time to move out of the house that stopped being your home long ago. You will rent a lodging for now, and then you will see what comes next. A carriage awaits you at the gate. You take one last look at your parents' house, the place that was your home and shelter for so many years. Your childhood games in the garden, your loud, happy dinners, your quiet conversations on the porch, the warm embrace of your family. It is time to leave it all behind. You offer your family no farewells as you depart. They are no longer a part of your life. From this day forward, you must fend for yourself. My willpower! It is gone! Again! This sucks. This is depressing. I'm depressed now. The carriage takes you further down the city's narrow streets. They are filled with noble carriages and commoners hurrying about their business, but the driver skillfully avoids them all. You watch the city uneasily from behind the carriage doors. The past few months have been so tense and challenging, they felt like a single unbearable moment. You had to face one ordeal after another, and Alton's case sometimes fell by the wayside. But you have no doubt that the outcome of this case will determine your fate. Your previous encounters with the haughty commander have assured you of that. The time to strike Alton down is coming soon. Right now, you need to make your final preparations. Your gut tells you that time is running out. Either you seize the initiative or Alton will destroy you himself. But what should you focus on at this critical juncture? You consider your options. Cause our fucking willpower sucks. This fucking... You rub your hands together in satisfaction. Soon, very soon, Alton will be the only one unaware of his inevitable downfall. You tell the driver to take you home. You will take this time to rest up and regain your strength before the most trying challenge of your life. We're not going to be able to convict him. We're going to fail. We're going to fucking fail. You stand at the windows of your office and watch the living streets below exhausted. For over a year, Anazot has been steadily simmering with unrest like a soup pot over a well-stoked flame. The endless feud between the Archduke and the Overseer, the first trials against nobles, insurgencies flaring up all across the Empire. Grim, heavy, dark red storm clouds now hang in the sky above Anazot. Preachers of the new faith fill the streets, urging the people to reject the lots. The abbot of the temple at the Silver Tree, Father Leonard, has turned the city's most ancient church into a new believer stronghold. Commoners flock to the squares in droves. The mobs grow bolder and bolder as they demand new freedoms and protection under the law. Commoners have begun forming armed militias. The last straw insurgents commit brazen acts, hoping to overthrow the authorities. The nobles of the sword demand that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for their ancient privileges, sword in hand. You cast a glance back at your desk, still covered with piles of paperwork for Alton's case. You have been working on it for over 2 years now. This case will have to reach a conclusion someday, but when? Will you be able to free yourself from the mortal peril into which it has drawn you? Your thoughts are interrupted by heavy footsteps and clacking hooves. The square in front of the prefecture quickly clears as workers and merchants do their best to flee. A Legion battalion is advancing on the prefecture. It is led by Dorius Otten on horseback and in full armor. He rides right up to the steps. The square resounds with his commanding voice. I am Dorius Otten, High Commander of this province, and I have come to demand justice. I have proof that a judge named Ryan Brante has been collecting slander for years, seeking to tarnish the Otten name. I have already warned this judge, and I will not stand idly by in the face of an insult. To accuse me is to undermine the rule of the Arcanians, our noble traditions, and the sacred order of the Empire itself. I demand that a stop be put to this campaign of defamation. I expect Judge Brante to burn his so-called case right now. Until that happens, my battalion is under orders to treat all those who serve at the prefecture as traitor to the crown. No one will leave this building until I see these vile accusations against an Arcanian dynasty burned to ash. Elborn comes rushing into your office. He is pale as a ghost, but trying his hardest to remain composed. Ryan often caught us off guard. I knew we should have begun his trial much sooner. He has the upper hand now. No one will come to our aid. We must give Otten our reply now. It is all up to you now, Sir Brante. This is it, the moment of truth. How will you respond to Otten's ultimatum? God damn it, man! Without saying a word, you stare out the window again. The sky is dark and overcast, thunder echoing in the distance. The Legion soldier stands still, awaiting new orders. Otten's horse is right by the stairs as he awaits your reply. The past several years flash before your eyes, cases and verdicts, threats and promises, decisions and deeds. Where have they led you? Your career, your province? How will you approach the task of rebuffing one of the mightiest Arcanians in the province? It'll all be decided now. Alright, what the We haven't had the chance to get our justice up by one. We haven't had the opportunity ever since the Judge Fakarabin shit. Come on. Man. You stare out the window helplessly. All those years of service as a judge spent trying to achieve balance, siding with the common estate while avoiding the ire of the mighty, gathering influence and climbing higher while doing your duty as a judge. You have been buffeted by twists of fate, by schemes and plots, and you have failed to maintain that fragile balance. You have failed to protect justice in your home province. The common people are so desperate, they are ready to take their rights by force. But the law is too weak to govern commoners, nobles, and Arcanians alike. You will not be able to convict Otten, no matter how many crimes he has committed. The grip of tradition is too strong. The Arcanians are and will remain immune to the rule of law. On the other hand, you have also failed to garner enough influence and establish enough connections within the aristocracy. You have not earned their respect or curried their favor. Without powerful patrons, Otten, your sworn enemy, cannot be defeated. There is only one thing left to do. Acquiesce to Otten's demand. Your hands shake as you collect all the paperwork on Otten's case in your office. You walk down the stairs to the door of the prefecture. Otten meets you face to face. He dismounts his horse, but clad in a full suit of armor. The Arcanian is still a head taller than you. There you are at last, Brante. I expect nothing less. You humans are predictably apt at finding your proper place soon enough. Now destroy these despicable scribbles. The Legion soldier hands you a burning torch. Humble and obedient, you bring the fire closer to the papers containing Otten's case. All the evidence you have, all your statements, it all burns away in an instant. The wind lifts the ashes and scatters them across the square. That is what you should have done the moment your upstart of a prefect instructed you to undertake this so-called case. Still, my mercy is known far and wide. Confess your lies and slander to the entire city, and you will be forgiven. Your stomach rolls. It is hard to breathe. It takes all the effort you can muster to take a deep breath. And then you do as he asks. You submit to the highborn Archaean's truth. You gathered slanderous rumors, a task beneath a true noble's honor. Did everyone hear that? That's enough, Brante. You're free to go. Attune to your cases of petty theft and stolen trinkets, and do not meddle in the affairs of your betters. Otton springs back into the saddle and commands the battalion to return to the barracks. You remain in the square, unmoving, your spirit broken. From behind you, Elborn's hand comes to rest on your shoulder. And you did all you could. It pains me to say it, but we cannot bring Otton to justice or make all the estates equal under the law. We must accept this fate. We weren't ready. I am so sorry for getting you involved in this hopeless case. I wanted to change the Empire, but instead I doomed you to humiliation. I fear Otton's case was our last and only chance to avert a riot in Anazat. Soon the humans' patience will run out and they will explode in defiance of this lawless tyranny, and no one will be able to prevent the fire and blood. You may go, Brante. Brace yourself for the tough turns ahead. Take care. Elborn embraces you like a father and drags himself back to his office. You watch him leave, a lonely, bent old man. The sky over Anazat splits apart, showering the dust-covered streets with long-awaited rain. Man. The night is gray, miserable, and gloomy. You walk down the steps of the prefecture, dragging your feet to your carriage. Now that Otton's case has met an ignoble end, your sense of duty seems to be the only thing keeping you at the office. Cases, complaints, petitions, it is all a blur. Another day has ended. Anazat is growing more restless by the day. The commoners cannot endure the tyranny and humiliation of the nobles any longer. More and more of them are refusing to obey, taking up arms and gathering in the squares. The noble militia of Anazat is making preparations to suppress the riots. The new believers are marching through the city. The last straw insurgents continue to incite unrest, striking again and again. It pains you to think that you could have made a difference if only you had not lost against Otton. A voice you do not recognize calls out to you. As you turn around to look, something heavy hits you on the head. The world grows dark before your eyes. Another blow lands, this time in your stomach. You fall to the ground, gasping for air as pain and nausea crumple your body into a tight ball. Your ears are ringing so loudly you can barely hear the voices above you, but you still recognize your assailants as Legion officers. They bind your wrists and ankles and put a sack over your head. The carriage arrives. They drag you inside and shove you onto the seat. What? You are alone with the squeaky wheels and the clacking of hooves. You hear the city gate opening. They are taking you out of the city. They drag you out of the carriage and remove the sack. You find yourself on waste ground outside the city limits, lit by the torches and surrounded by silhouettes. You recognize a number of aristocrats. Magistrate Remy L. Vermin is here, as is Friedrich L. Liberius, head of the noble militia. So many people you have angered. Dude, I think I'm dead. I think I'm fucking dead. But the biggest silhouette of them all belongs to Darius Otton, who stands right before you. How was the trip, Sir Ryan Brante? I took the liberty of sending my personal carriage to pick you up. I didn't want you to miss our appointment. Otton leans down to you and looks you in the eye. I remember you as a young boy. I remember how insolent you were even then. I knew we'd fight one another eventually. Well, the time has come. Surely you didn't expect me to forgive your insult just like that, did you? You renounced your case, yes, but my honor as an Arcane demands satisfaction. You have done more than merely insult my bloodline. You have questioned the power of those who rule this world. You are all alone. No one will protect you. You knew what you were doing, Brante, and now you are going to pay. I challenge you to a duel. The Court of Honor hereby accepts the challenge. Sir Otton may rightfully defend his honor and duel to the true death. Both parties shall fight blindfolded. Otton takes off his jacket and draws his sword. He has clearly done this many times before. A blindfold is placed over his eyes. Your head is covered by the same sack, this time knotted tightly around your neck. Darius of the Otton dynasty and Ryan of the Brante bloodline will now cross swords in mortal combat. I summon their ancestors to bear witness to their duel. May their blood tides meet in sacred battle and determine the truth. May the younger witness our trial and behold the power of his inevitable law. A hand shoves a sword into yours. You can barely breathe through the thick sackcloth. Your hands are shaking, unwilling to fight. You probe the darkness with the tip of your blade, unsure of where to strike. Let the battle begin! Your arms grow tired. The sword feels incredibly heavy and unwieldy. You fall silent, trying to hear your enemy moving. Something rustles ahead. You step back as soon as you hear it, holding the blade in front of you. Still trying to run from me, eh, Brante? I'm afraid it's too late for that. You swing at the voice, but your blade slices nothing but air. You take a quick hop backwards. Your head shrinks into your shoulders. You cannot allow yourself to breathe, waiting for another strike. Don't listen to him. Surprised by the voice, you take a deep breath. The steel band you had felt around your chest is suddenly shattered. You cannot possibly defeat him. But you can accept your death with dignity. Prove you're worthy of the Brante name. You square your shoulders. The rope around your neck no bothers you no longer. You still cannot see a thing, but you have no need for sight now. Keep your feet steady. Get your sword up. I'm here with you. A step, a swing, a jab. You know where to strike. Your blade sinks into flesh. Ah, pathetic human runt. That's it. I'm done playing with you. Something slices through the air. You deflect it again. Once more. You're not in command of the blade. The blade commands you. You feel the blade swing in front of you. In front of your face, you move to parry it, but your sword means nothing, and then its sword stabs you straight in the heart. You take a few slow steps back. The darkness in your eyes gives way to light. A light brighter than anything you've ever seen. You keep the sword in your hands until the very last moment. You die on your feet. All is well, Ryan.
Neither side could overcome the other. The fire of the revolt could not be extinguished. The province, and then the whole empire,
I lost!
fell on troubled times.
I failed! Yeah, I'm not even gonna read this. Fuck them. Fuck the twins. A cause. I think we left some impact for change. I do not know. Myself. Yes, I would like to take a new life. Alright, so I guess we just... No, you know what we're gonna do instead? We're gonna start over. But I'm not gonna read it. I'll read things that are extremely different choices. Like, if we make drastically different choices, then yes. Speedrun, let's go. man himself. We are a baby again. All right. We'll smile at the shadow. So this is gonna be different. Your first smile appears on your face, awkward yet genuine. Their mother and father exchange looks and start talking. You know no words yet, so all you hear is a sequence of booming sounds. But the stranger behind them has no need for words. The stranger's look is all it takes for you to feel the will to live and act that now burns within you. The shadow brings a finger to its lips as if to say, there, baby. Don't cry. This is our secret now. And then the shadow melts into the light. All right, let's see. Sit there and wait. Yeah, just like we did last time. What I like, all right, so, but I should actually talk about the death a little bit. What that showed us, though, is that I feel like our choice, with that death, I really felt like our choices really matter. Like, I don't think really there's another game out there where I've seen our choices really affect our life like that before. So that's fucking cool. You break out of Mother's arms and start screaming. You're innocent, you cry, and if he hits you, you'll hit him back. All fear and shame are gone. You stand up straight and stare defiantly into Mother's eyes. Her expression grows bitter. She catches you by the collar of your shirt and drags you down the stairs. I'm doing this for your own good. Do not defy me, Ryan. You're born a commoner, my son. Power and will is not your lot. This is Stefan's lot. He'll become a noble soon. Life for you and me is humility and suffering. You have to accept it. There are flogs in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. You clench your teeth and hold back the tears. This is the only way you can prove that you're your brother's equal. It is the only way you can prove that one day you will have the right to rule and fight. Offer to write rhymes. That's what we did last time. I just want to get back to where we fucking left off. Oh, man. Damn. Can't believe we died. We got fucking murdered. We'll keep playing with Mother this time. Deny it. Don't deny it. You know what? Fuck you, grandfather. Still fuck you. I'm gonna hit him anyway. See. Maintain composure. We gain perception. Take it apart. I think we did that last time. You stand up and tell the truth, even though it takes you an effort to do it. You actually ate a candied fruit. But Gloria only touched it. You hope this will help your sister avoid punishment. You are quickly proven wrong. He strikes you both with his walking stick blow for blow. Well, at least our sister didn't get hit, or didn't die, or hate us. Sacrament time. Yeah. Just the sword. Like we did last time. Speed running this game, let's go. Oh boy.
I was growing up fast.
I just want to get back to the adult page. Get in a fist fight. Save Sophia. We're gonna do it this time. You throw yourself blindly into the road, swinging your arms wildly. Dazed by the sound of the thudding hooves, you can see nothing in the dust. For a brief moment, the horses slow down just long enough for Sophia to get back on her feet and flee to the roadside. But then the riders dig their spurs in. Dozens of hooves knock you off your feet and roll across your body. Your bones crack, break, and crumble. Your ears are ripped apart by the thundering rhythm of the raid. Your innards are pulverized. The last thing you remember is the sound of your own skull caving in. Then you can feel again. You sense your body, head, arms, and legs. The light fades around you, obedient before a will that is stronger than you. You return to the world. Such is the law of the twins. You will return to the world until the time of your true death, and in this world you will have a body with which to feel pain and suffering and pleasure. You smell a sickly, moist odor. You open your eyes and see the figures of mother and father in the gloom of the family crypt, speaking to each other quietly. They stop as soon as they hear you gasp. Mother runs to you and locks you in an embrace as father wraps you in his cloak. Neither of them says a word as they lead you out to the surface and back home. You met a terrible end, my son. You were trampled by those horses. Don't be so careless ever again. The lives you were granted by the twin gods are not to be wasted so recklessly. You ought to be punished for this, but the twins have already meted out their punishment. You tremble, your steps unsteady as you learn how to move again. Your body is eerily smooth, fresh, and renewed. Even the recent scars and scratches are all gone, but there is something new on it, a fresh black mark, a reminder of your lesser death beneath those hooves. Remember that by the twins' mercy, we are all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you will be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is true and final for all. Every loss of a life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods told us not to mourn a lesser death, and so we will humbly accept this and move on. Your body's a bit, yeah. You cautiously go back outside the next day. Children from the neighborhood surround you. They all saw you get trampled, and now they all ask you the same question. What was it like to die? Thomas rescues you from their pestering. He pushes the motley crew aside, hugs you, and pats you on the back. Look at you, buddy. You gave an entire life to keep girls safe. Then you see Sophia. She's standing nearby, shyly working up the courage to walk over to you. Soon she finally approaches you and begins speaking rapidly. Ryan, why did you throw yourself in front of those horses? My life isn't worth any more than yours. You saw why did you think that? You weren't supposed to die there. It was all those riders' fault. They deserve to die, not you. Her voice rises to a shriek. Suddenly stops and runs back home. You stay where you are, watching her run, the golden rays of the sun dancing in her braided hair. Alright, so now we need to get willpower back up. Yeah, disappeared. Okay. Help our sister. I can finally correct my mistakes this time around, though. Give the handkerchief back to Octavia. It takes a moment to overcome your fear. You follow the young Lady Milanitis and call out to her in a nervous voice. She turns around, her beautiful face marred by a puzzled expression. You extend the dropped handkerchief towards her. Lady Octavia's face contorts into a sneer. She signs to the guardsman indifferently. The guardsman's gauntlet-clad hand slaps you in the face. It rings your head like a heavy bell. Your nose cracks obediently under the staggering force. The rest of you follow suit and you fall prone. You can discern the guardsman's voice through the painful din in your ears. I take the handkerchief back, lady. After a commoner's hands have befouled it, Let him wipe himself with it for all I care. Ah! Ouch! I thought... Oh! The carriage drives away. Thomas runs up to you and drags you back to the fountain. Your head is still ringing from the blow. The fateful handkerchief is still crumbled in your hand. I gave up willpower for you. My first romantic feelings is getting beat by Octavia's guards. What a simp. Oh, goddamn. Started our studies. Yeah. We gotta go help Thomas. The wooden fort. We bounced into a fight last time. Oh yeah, this one. Keep it secret. We did last time. Speed running this shit. Let's go. Get back to chapter 4. Approach the tree. Again, that is what happened last time. Valeria's my sister. convince him to change his mind. Oh, this thing. All right. Blues off. Hmm. We'll ask this time around, why not? That boosts affection with people. See, we didn't get this event last time. The day is sunny, scorching, and hot. You're sitting in the yard in the shade of a tree studying books about the twins' great descent. You hear shy, quiet steps. There's no need to look back. You know from the sound that it is Nathan. Your younger brother also sits in the shade of the tree, yet he is quiet. He is not tugging at your clothes this time. That is unusual. He is just sitting by your side, breathing loudly. You tear yourself away from the book and look at your brother. Nathan is deep in thought. He seems uneasy. He is fidgeting with the symbol of the twins, a cross inside a circle, the lash bound around the sword. It is Nathan's pendant. He wears it all the time, but not today. The silence wears on. Nathan takes a deep breath like he is about to speak, but he does not. His face grows even grimmer. He looks unusually hurt and bitter. At last, Nathan gathers his courage. He takes another deep breath. His eyes narrow. His hand clutches the encircled cross. Tell me, Ryan, twins, they hate me, don't they? Nathan's voice is quiet yet firm. The world falls silent around you. Not even a gust of wind can be heard. It is as if everything is waiting for your answer. You look at your brother again, confused. Nathan, the youngest brother, the most unassuming child, he is quiet, obedient, and thoughtful. He has been your responsibility almost since his birth, yet he has never been a burden. Father was always aloof around him, and mother was too tired to even smile. Even grandfather seemed to avoid Nathan with his scorn. He just treated your little brother like a piece of trash. Never called him by name and always winced at the sight of him, perhaps because he looks so much like mother. But is it true that the twin gods had no love for your little brother? Surely the twins have enough love even for Nathan, do they not? Nathan was born a commoner like you. His lot is suffering. Everyone is tested by the twins before their true death. No one can expect mercy along their path. He was born in the youngest child in your family. That is his trial. Should Nathan persevere and bear the burden he was dealt, he'll yet reach the peak of the pillar when his time runs out. There is hope in Nathan's eyes as he looks at you. Guiding others in matters of faith is the clergy's lot. You are no priest, yet you cannot stay quiet. You see his pain, you see his trepidation, and so you will tell him what you think. What you are about to say may be a turning point in his life. Yes. You are quiet for a moment, and then you speak. The Twins are stern indeed. They pay no heed to the wishes of men, for they are gods. They have their own vision, and they follow it to guide all people to greatness. But how can the twins guide people when they are not people themselves? But there is a positive side to this. You do not have to love them either. After all, how can you force yourself to love forces that hate you just for being born? How can you force yourself to love entities that see you as wicked beings that can do nothing but blindly obey their will? For our gods have no mercy indeed, and their law is inhuman. We have to accept it, for it cannot be changed. But when your true death comes, there are two paths open to you. You can be brought to the peak of the shining pillar, or you can be cast down into eternal suffering at the foot of the pillar. If you wish for the twins' solace and eternal bliss in the hereafter, submitting to their will is the only way. Nathan hangs on your every word. The despair on his face is replaced by rage. He leaps to his feet. His finger balls into fists. A single tear rolls down his reddened cheek. Well, that cannot be. It is impossible. You simply cannot be right. The twins are testing me. And they're testing me right now, too. I'm going to tell Mom you're spreading heresy. Nathan screams these words in your face and runs away, his pendant clenched in his fist instead of around his neck. Turn back to the book with a heavy heart. It always hurts to face the cruelty of this world. Will your younger brother weather the storm? You know his threat means nothing. He will never tell on you. His doubt is too great. And then Poet Society with our sister. Deep Gloria's Secret. Help her flee. Wait, but will I fucking die here? You pull yourself together and walk slowly to the half-collapsed doorway. Thea stays behind. The tall young Arcanian stares you down, his condescending smile dripping with scorn. In your most assertive voice, you answer his question. He will find no fugitive girl in this house. What are you doing here, boy? I wasn't speaking to you. Out of my way. Otton needs no permission to enter, so he steps inside. You stand in his way. You have already assured the young Arcanian there is no one else inside. You have done him a great service. What makes him doubt your words? Why, you lowlife, how dare you stand in an Arcanian's way? You must have lives to spare. Otton backhands you with immense strength enough to send you flying. The Arcanian draws his sword, it rises in the air. But then one of his men shouts, "Sir, there she is!" The Arcanian turns around and briskly walks away. Sophia used your distraction to climb out the window in the back. You jump up to your feet and escape the house in the same way. Sophia's slight silhouette is gaining distance far ahead. One of Otton's men is chasing her down, ready to catch her at any moment. But then something unbelievable happens. Sophia lets out a dreadful scream, and the air around her sizzles with golden sparks. Otton's men fall to the ground, clutching his head. Sophia freezes for a second, as though uncertain of what she just did. What was that? Otton screams at her right next to you. So that's how it is, eh? The witch is a witch. Caesar! Magic. Sophia's a witch. Will you ever see her again? Alright, church-ism stuff. Gain nobility. Send it with Gloria. Almost to chapter 4. We're almost caught up.
Leaving my home.
We're almost back to where we died. Fuck. God, I still can't believe we died, though. Okay. Run after the students, enjoy fun times. Resist him. I think that's what we picked last time. That's diplomacy. There you go, Dory. We died, so I'm trying to get back to where we were. I'm just skipping through. And making some better choices too. Alright, oh yeah, so the last time you saw me playing was Yes, Your Grace. This one is an entirely choose your own, it's pretty much choose your own adventure story game. And it's real. Now there are grammatical and spelling mistakes, but the rest the story is really well written and your choices really do fucking matter. And I am happy to inform everyone that I did get my TB test done today. But of course, the results are not official yet, even though looking at where they jabbed me with the syringe. I think it's safe to say I do not have TB because this thing, it's completely gone now. Because I am applying to be a substitute teacher, Dory. And for that, you have to have a TB test done and a physical. I just found it very ironic that I had to get a TB test. Literally, it was the day after I finished Red Dead Redemption 2 on stream. The next day, I got an email from where I'm applying, and they told me they gave me like a bunch of files that I had to fill out. And one of those files is, of course, I have to get a physician's signature. But of course, I still don't have the paper finalized because you really have to wait 48 to 72 hours and then go back in. And then they look at it. Oh God, I hope not, Dory. I just want to be left alone when I'm there. I'm just going to be like, yo, here's what your teacher wants you to do. Do your work. Don't bother substitute teacher who just wants to miss his sleep. If for some reason people find this stream, this is a joke. I'm joking right now. All right, I will be a good teacher. A substitute. I'll be fantastic. I know how to work. I know how to work good. Oh shit, Sophia. You won't even play that many movies? Well, honestly, usually when a substitute comes in, I'm trying to remember. It was pretty much always like, you know, It's either a test day. Like there are three things that happen when you have a substitute. It's a test day, or the teacher is like, "Hey, we were watching a movie or something. Just continue the movie at this point or whatever." Or it's like you start a movie for the class. Number 3, it's literally just paperwork day or like group work kind of day where they already have their like a group assignment or something, and that's just gonna be the whole period. So like usually, like really, at least that's where I went to high school. That's what it was like with the teachers I had. But I also got really lucky with the kind of teachers I had. So maybe there are meaner teachers. There are probably meaner teachers out there. They're like, nah, this substitute also is gonna have to do quite a bit of work on their own or something. I don't know. But I don't think they really have substitutes do the work. Now, of course, legally, I am able to fill in for a teacher for like up to 90 days and actually teach a subject. Of course, that subject being the one that I got my degree in. I don't think they would have me go in and teach science for 90 days. That would be messed up. Those kids would have the worst fucking grades because goddamn, I would not be able to teach them a thing. I am not good at science. Help her. Okay, so you'll have to actually work. Yeah, kinda. I mean, again, I don't think it's gonna be much work. Like, every time I had a substitute, the substitutes never did anything, really. I don't know if that's just because my high school graduating class was just super chill. Like, I think, I do believe that teachers loved my graduating class. Especially compared to the graduating class that was one above us. They were awful. They were terrible. But our class, fairly chill, honestly. Be honest. You can't choose your subject? What I'm assuming is going to happen, I'm of course going to ask this question to whoever I speak to when I hand in the papers. If they know anything more about it, since they're the ones dealing with hiring substitutes, I'm going to ask them, of course. I'm gonna be like, so do I only substitute in for history classes, or do I substitute in for anything other than science? I have a feeling they'd have me substitute for math and science, as long as it isn't like, again, like I said, where one of those rare circumstances where, say, the teacher has to go on paternity or maternity leave or something, or is sick for a long time and then they're gone for a long period of time, where a substitute actually has to teach. I think in that circumstance, in that rare circumstance, they would bring in someone with a science degree to do that. But like for English, I think I could probably also teach English, because I think I might actually be legally able to, or I have to take a test to prove that I can teach it, because I think I took enough English classes to do that, where I could possibly also become an English teacher. I'm not sure though, because I think if I'm remembering correctly from what one guy told me, is you have to take 4 classes, or I think it was 4 classes, a total of 12 credit hours, and then you take a test, and then boom, you are legally able to also be a full-time teacher in that position. Now, I can't remember if he said it had to be like just 4 classes in general of that specific field, or if it had to be 4 classes at a 300 level or above. I can't remember. So, of course, I'm probably going to have to ask someone about that. But I think I could be a history English teacher at the very least. We had a floating rotating something that became our perma art teacher. Oh boy. There was one time we had a convicted pedophile as a sub. Now hold on. Let me explain. He was not convicted when he was our sub. He got convicted the next day. Literally. No one fucking. Literally the next morning, I turn on the news, and there's like substitute arrest, like, but then like I go. No, I didn't even turn on the news. I didn't even know this fucking happened. Like no one in our class knew it happened. Our teacher walks in the next day, and he's just like, "I am so sorry, guys," and all of us are like, "What?" And he's like, "That guy you guys had yesterday, been arrested for being a pedophile," and we. Now, of course, this is a class of juniors and seniors because it was a creative writing class, and freshmen and sophomores in high school don't have like the ability to take an elective like that, so it was only open really for juniors and seniors. So our professor also was like super fucking chill. Why am I saying professor? Teacher. They're not professors in high school. Yeah, our teacher was. I loved my creative writing teacher in high school. He was so cool. But yeah, he literally came in and was just like, "I'm so sorry, guys." And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, it's like, I think our class even said this, and it was like, "There's no way you could have known. He didn't get convicted until now. There's no way you could have known he was." And again, also, teachers don't really get much. I think teachers can be like, they can request a sub if they know a sub is working or something and it's free. But other than that, I don't think they get really much say in who becomes the sub. I think the sub largely picks it, I think. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be able to spill some deep. By the way, all it takes in most states, I think, is you just need a bachelor's degree and boom, you can be a substitute teacher. And you get a pension, at least where I'm going, I'm getting a pension. So, haha. You don't get health benefits, though, of course. You'd have to be a full-time teacher for that. But pay is decent. You get summers off and you get a pension. And because of COVID, they need substitutes. Let's see, what the state you live in, Dory. Yeah. I mean, of course, you can look it up. Not all states are like this. However, I think states like yours and mine, Dory, I think yours is probably a state like mine where you need a bachelor's. But it doesn't hurt to check. I personally think substitute teaching should be open to associate degrees so that like people pursuing a teaching degree can, get work in the field instead of the only time they get work in the teaching field is literally their last semester of their undergraduate degree. Because that's what my friend is doing right now. He is paying to do what I'm pretty much going to be getting paid to do. Want to at least finish? I definitely go for the associates. Because at least with the associates, you can demand higher pay. You got more leeway with the associates, I think. Probably an associates in science might go farther than associates in arts, though. I got an associates in arts, and I never saw jack shit for that.
I will never.
But like, get it through. This is big brain. But also like you can just go into a community college. Community college is so cheap and it's very flexible with your times. I am a huge supporter of community colleges. I think they're great. I think they are personally. I think they are priced as to what other. Because here's the thing. Those teachers get paid good at community college, and they still keep costs cheap. All right? Like, those teachers, they're working like a 10 to 2, and they could get paid upwards of 6 figures if they're like a tenured professor at the community college. And they don't have to do scholarly research. If you're working at a university, and you're working if you're not working at one of the top universities, you ain't gonna get shit. You get paid so little, but yet you still have to teach, and you have to also do research on the side. I can't do private college. I can't afford hard. I personally am of the belief of always trying and applying, because sometimes it really depends on your grades and how good of a student you were. Obviously, I did not get the grades, but also it matters really on being well-rounded. If you are a well-rounded individual, you might be able to get some really good. That's how I was able to get a full ride to my associate to my community college. The only thing I had to pay for, obviously, was commuting and books, but everything else was covered. So I saved like $8,000 to $10,000 in that. But like my grades in high school, average, like a 3.2 something. So decent, you know, some would say good, but like definitely not top of the class, decent. Just barely high enough, I believe, to reach the requirements of that scholarship. But in the interview phase, I killed it. I probably beat out people that were way smarter than me because I can talk. Because I can talk to interviewers. You know, the good thing about that, Dory, is you probably won't even have to show them your previous university grades. Yeah. Hell, even now they might not. I don't know. I mean, they might. It depends on how old you are, Dory. At a certain point, they may not, but also at a certain point, that may make you no longer eligible for stuff. Because here's the thing, you're speaking to someone that went straight into college and went through the 4.5 years. It took me 4.5 years to get my degree. By the way, fun fact, my degree is literally right there. Right there, it's hiding under stuff. My degree, it finally came in the mail. But I know after a certain amount of time, you no longer have to provide your high school transcript to colleges when applying because it's been too long or something. Of course, you know, they make it pretty, they're very, you know, it's very easy to Google. I'm just speaking off of what else I've seen online and some little research I've done. So I'm speaking off the top of my head. So I may not be the best source. But yeah, community college is definitely the best place to go. Because another thing with community college, which you could do through that, is that with community college, you could probably slay your grades, get amazing grades, and then with that, you know, you saved money on the first 2 years. Oh no, it's all right, Dory, it's all right. I haven't been taught. I've only been, you know, doing like these streams with this game. They're so quiet, no one talks, so it's like nice to actually talk to chat for once during these this game streams. What was I saying? With the associates, and if you say you get, let's say you fucking knock it out of the park, get a 4.0 at community college, that could also pave the way for you to getting some good scholarships when going for a bachelor's if you want. And then I don't know if Harvard or places like that offer this, but I've heard some schools, like state schools, do offer scholarships for adults that want to go back and finish their degrees. So I've heard that could also be an option to look into. I don't know if that applies to boomers older than you, or if you fit it. I'm not 100% certain, but I have heard of schools offering that before. That schools are definitely have given scholarships, some money away to adults seeking to get their degrees finished. Catholic nobleman. Oath of friendship. I am besties with Thomas Aguero. Thomas Guerrero. I can read. Bum bum. Man, I was actually expecting to finish this game tonight. I was not expecting to die and go back to the beginning. Yeah, we got fucking murked. We pissed off the wrong people and the nobility did not like us. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that because if we look here, I mean, I guess I can lower the sound more. I feel like it doesn't change too much. Karada, do I dance with Octavia? I kind of want to. Yes? Okay. We're backstabbing our friend. You turn your head towards the Ocnian beauty and offer her your hand, taking care not to rush your movements. A moment later, her fingers gracefully come to rest in yours. The masked lady's touch feels electric against your skin. You walk together to the center of the hall where the other couples are already dancing. You bow and she makes a curtsy. Her hands are incredibly thin. They seem so delicate, you fear you might snap them if you squeeze too hard. You adjust to her steps, counting the rhythm of the music. Your lady for the dance is an Archnian, a noble born to rule. But this is a dance where you must take the lead. As you walk around her, your eyes catch an embroidered ornament on the arm of her dress. You spy many thin emerald threads, all interwoven into a pattern of interlocking snakes. This young woman is Octavia Melanitis, daughter to the Archduke of your home province. The minuet ends. You bow to the lady and offer to accompany her wherever she chooses before the next dance. Why then? Be so kind as to accompany for another dance. Before you know it, the night is almost over. Octavia will not let you go. She does not accept another invitation until she has danced with you 3 times. You spot Thomas in the crowd during a break. He catches your eye and salutes you with a wine glass. Judging from his lopsided grin, Otten must have had him removed from the dance floor. But any concern for your friend is forgotten when you see the beautiful Octavia approaching you again. She had her guard smack us earlier, so like, we're totally gonna use her for our advantage. That sounded so fucked up the moment I said it. Oh, but that is the way of this world. We're a boy simply trying to maneuver the politics. We were trying to give her, poor woman, she is a part of the ruling class. We are a part of the plebeians, okay? We are a part of the peasantry. She is a part of the bourgeoisie. Rise the proletariat. Proletariat. We're communist here. But she has feelings. Well, I had feelings too. And when I was trying to give her her handkerchief back, she had her guard beat me. Okay? So we are going to use her. I have feelings too. Maybe she thought you were... I was a little boy. I was a teenager holding out her handkerchief like this. I didn't do anything. I just held it out to her. But yes, you do have feelings too. I'm sorry she was a poop. Hey, Siege, get our scheming and valor up. Let's see. Manipulation and theology. A-list. Find the nobleman. Alright, no problem, Dory. Bum bum. But yeah, as you were saying earlier, yeah, this music is amazing. I think the soundtrack for this game is just chef's kiss. Commander writes. You cry out in support of Gaius Tempest's call for the law. You have the right to be heard, and you have the right to ask. Your voice grows stronger. Soon, others join you. The chant grows louder with every second. The law! The law! Inspired by the support of your fellow students and cadets, you move through the square and urge others to join you. Thomas walks by your side, waving his arms wildly, inciting others to shout along with you. The law! The law! You, Thomas, and other vocal students and cadets gather in the very center of the square. Academy officers are trying to shout you into submission and order you back into the procession, but they are barely heard above your chant. Still, some submit and form back into the columns, but the impassioned chant continues and you are at the very heart of the chanting crowd. An Imperial Guard cavalry regiment emerges from the palace. They start slowly advancing on the crowd, hands on their swords, pushing people out of the square. You have to stand your ground, so you start giving orders to defend the cobblestones beneath your feet with your fellow future nobles. You assemble into a double chain formation around the center of the square. It is strong enough to prevent the Imperial Guard from reaching the very center. The commoners go running left and right away from the horses, but the cavalry stops when it reaches your double chain. They cannot break through unless they are ordered to attack, and so they halt and wait for orders. The horses paw at the cobblestones, the cavalry swords are drawn, ready to come crashing down upon your heads. It is a standoff between the armor-clad cavalry and the unarmed students and cadets. Emperor Uther II appears on the balcony again, joined by his brother Gaius Tempest and heir to the throne Jarian Tempest. With a gesture, the Emperor calls for attention. The square falls silent at the sight of the sovereign. My subjects, I have heard your request. There is no need to repeat it again and again. The Great Imperial Council shall review my brother's proposal. Now follow your lot and obey my will. Continue the parade and sing the praises to the ever-merciful Prince Jarian. These words from the Emperor are enough to quell the commotion in the square. Standoff ends and the cavalry withdraws. Oh, would you look at that, old friend? We did it. We stood up for our noble right and we won. That's the Emperor's word. That's what our courage can do. Voices from the crowd are quick to disprove Thomas. The Emperor never gave his word, he only promised to review the proposal. People begin to argue around you again. This time, however, no one wishes to disobey the orders from on high, and so the students line up into columns once again. The bout of defiance is in the past now, and everyone resumes the festive parade through the city streets. Glory to Emperor Uther. Glory, Prince Jarian. Wait, does she not remember me? Yeah, that's essentially exactly it, Dory. She does remember me, so why can't I... Is it she's not supposed to remember me? Yeah, she's not supposed to remember me. Okay. You approach the stalls and shout clearly and loudly, "You will fight for the honor of the young Duchess Octavia Milanitis." Slowly she rises from her seat. The stalls grow quiet. If you suffer defeat after such... Yeah. Sir Ryan Brante. How do I know this name? Ah, yes, you have already dared to draw my attention once. In memory of our amusing encounter, I will grant you the honor of fighting in my name. Do not disgrace it. You prevail in 3 fights in a row, and prepare to face a new opponent. You know him well. He was mentored at the Prefecture of Eterna after you. He's an unusually quick and nimble fighter. 3 victories, not bad. Still got her diplomacy up, that's nice. She's cold, but she's hot. That's what matters, right? It's not about what's inside, it matters about the face, right? Oh, what I'm hoping to do is I want to destroy them from the inside. Because I feel like this game... Actually, you know what? Let's take a look. I'm going to Google this, actually. How many endings to this game are there? God, it just looks like there's a shit ton of endings. Or... Alright, so there are 3 distinct endings. Okay, so it takes kind of like Witcher 3 a bit in that sense. But I feel like there might be more. Well, I guess if you count the way in which our character can meet their final death, their true death, as the game states it, I guess then there are a shit ton?
A full...
I haven't done anything too outrageously different from before. Talk to Stefan. You know what? Let's ask Nathan some questions. Let's see. All right. Fair for our first case. Reputation, unity. Reputation, diplomacy, manipulation. Yep, that'll go up. Share the news for the capital. And Gloria to Valona. We did last time. Land dispute. Plus 12. Go for the bribe. Sell the jewels, find the gift. Give the jewels to other nobles, like we did last time. Okay, this is about Auten. Sure. Yep, have dinner with him. I still can't believe we fucking died. We gotta spend our willpower too. Newspaper case. Okay, I remember this one. If I seize it. Wealth and reputation go up. Legitimize it. Wealth goes down. Legitimize it. I think that's what we did last time too. Really need to do stuff to get wealth back up though. All the ancestors. Side with father. Actually. We'll step forward ourselves. Like we did last time as well. I think I'm doing things much better this time around than I did in the last time. Alright, so we can defuse it this time. Which is best. Yeah, that's the best option. You have Lady Octavia's attention now. She may not have shown it in Sir Elborn's presence, but she remembers you from the capital quite well. Skillfully, you take advantage of this connection to reduce the tension. You start by reaffirming her position. Truly, the Archduke has every right to look after his noble subjects. You would never expect an ancient dynasty to abandon the loyal nobles to their fate. Having said that, you shower the Archduke and his noble dynasty with praise, including his brilliant progeny who has deigned to grace the prefect's office with a visit. You casually mention your encounter with Lady Octavia at the fencing tournament in Eterna. I have to admit, Brante, for a human, you fought valiantly indeed. I've witnessed some of the best Archnean sword masters at work, and yet your fighting piqued my curiosity. There's a look of relief on Sir Elborn's face as he watches you converse. Still, you return to Octavia's demands. After all, she did not come here for small talk. The Archduke's words carry great weight, but sadly Sir Elborn has no power to decide the matter. After all, he is but a humble servant of the Emperor. Perhaps it would be more prudent to take this matter to the Emperor's overseer, Gaius Tempest, who is also an Archnean of noble lineage. Yes, there are. So these people, their skins are slightly tinted blue. They got a kind of bluish look to them. And they are called Archneans. Now, Archneans are the upper echelons of society. They are the emperors. They are they are nobles no matter what happens. Like nothing has. They rule the world. And they are seen as having been blessed by the gods. And there are two gods in this. They are called the twins. The elder and the younger. And this world has a really, really nice lore behind it. Just like a moment ago, Octavia winces at the mention of Gaius Tempest. The Emperor's brother took away her noble family's right to present imperial authority in the province of Magra. Still, the Archnean lady considers your words well before speaking again. To a certain extent, you are right, Ryan Brante. I cannot help but admit it. We Archneans ought to avoid involving humans in matters of supreme authority. It is still my wish and intention that Sir Elborn present us with an answer, but if he absolutely must learn the will of Gaius Tempest beforehand, then so be it. But do not tarry too long with your answer, or you risk angering my father. Octavia rises elegantly from her seat. Before she leaves the prefect's office, her eyes rest on you for a moment. Bats her eyes charmingly, and addresses you with a gentle smile, and then she is gone. Elborn pats you on the shoulder, content with the outcome of the interview. Unbelievable. I never expected you to be acquainted with Octavia Milonitis. My thanks, Brante. You bought me some time. If you hadn't intervened just now, I'd have had to defy the law and end all cases against nobles who serve the Archduke. We'll see what the Overseer says about this now. Milonitis is testing the prefecture with his daughter. Otherwise, he'd have asked me to visit his palace personally. He's showing caution. It means we still stand strong. At least for now, we will continue our service to the law without regard for the outmoded ways of the past. But I digress. Yeah. Oh. The repercussions of your most recent encounter. Octavia rises from the throne, the hem of her dress lifting up to reveal her elegant, slender leg. Yes! I can do it this time! You agree to be Octavia's lover only if she sees you as an equal. Yes. You give Octavia your answer, looking her straight in the eye. You have been in love with her ever since you were young, enchanted by her beauty and grace. Every chance you encounter a treasured memory, and you know that this feeling is mutual. For you, there is no greater honor than Lady Octavia's affection. But you cannot sacrifice your honor as a nobleman for the sake of this love. You do not mean this as an insult, on the contrary. Lady Milonitis is far superior to you, it is true, and yet you too are of the noble estate, and you cannot accept humiliation, even if you must face the full extent of the Milonitis' ire. You will reciprocate Octavia's affection, not as an obedient plaything, but as a man and a noble. Your impassioned speech ends, and you steel yourself to face her wrath. But, to your surprise, Octavia seems lost in thought, her eyes downcast. Nobody denies me. I'm not used to this. You are a remarkable human indeed, Ryan Brante. I have noticed that ever since we first met, your words echo in my heart. You do not follow the usual rules. Any other man would have been groveling at my feet by now. Perhaps you can be my escape from this stifling, sickening world. So be it. I choose a human as my lover, and I care little for what the aristocracy of this twins-forsaken province has to say about it. I'll take this as far as I like. But you will be safer if our affair remains a secret to the world. Come to me, my sweet human. You draw closer to Octavia on the throne. She reaches out for your face, caressing it gently and carefully, as though touching a human for the first time. A moment passes, and suddenly her arms wrap around your neck and her legs lock around your torso, and she pulls you closer to her with all her might. You do not resist the Archnean's assault. Her embrace leads you to the throne. So, how do you like the seat of the great charm in Leonidas? Octavia's ravenous lips find yours as her hands free you from your fashionable attire. Oh, fashionable. Her entire body shivering with excitement, her caress her skin tender and azure. You commit her to memory, studying her, trying to understand her. Octavia's eyes are dark as the starless sky, sparkling with delight from your sweet transgression. But why does she seek this pleasure with you? Why would she humiliate her ancestors and her very dynasty by having an affair with a human? I don't know. One second, you guys got a message. So we banged the lady from Avatar, that's... Wait. I think you're getting your avatars mixed up, Dory. Seeing you preoccupied, Octavia gently pulls your head up by the chin. She kisses you passionately, and her lips start moving down your half-naked body. Her inhuman passion swallows... Okay, that's what I thought, Dory. I sensed a hint of sarcasm. That's not the only thing she's swallowing. Ah! Got him. Until the vast throne room of the Milonitis dynasty echoes with the last of her ecstatic. Then there is silence, save for the sound of your heavy breathing. Octavia caresses your back slowly, then playfully pushes you off the throne. The Archneans watch you from the portraits, their faces as dispassionate as ever. Octavia returns to you at dawn, now wearing a modest black dress, her hair in a formal bun. I mean, spitters are... This is so different from what happened last time. Last time, we weren't able to get her to acknowledge us as equals. So, like, seeing... This is really different. This is actually really fucking cool. It is time for you to leave, Ryan. I've started an affair with her woman. I wish that were me. And that's where we're going to end for the night. Because it is past 9 o'clock. And Ryan's voice is tired. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. Oh, there's only one of it. Where'd everyone go? I saw 3 people here not too long ago. Get your asses back here. We have a clay to raid. I know you're here, Dory. Only one? Yeah, what the fuck? Hold on, let's see if it... Sometimes it glitches. Because I saw... It also only said one person when you and Sasha were here. / raid Clay Frank. It better say at least 2 people, or I'm going to be upset. There's one person. There's one person. Do we have a... We never have a raid message, Dory. You think I'm creative? Just because I'm writing an epic fantasy story that is already over 220 pages long in the first draft? And I'm still not even done with it when I thought I would be done with it by now? You're crazy. Ah. Try and bang the fancy noble lady. That's my raid message. I like it. Try and bang the fancy noble lady. You guys can say it. I won't be saying it because obviously it has my name in it. Because then that just looks so egotistical, and I'm just not like that, you know? Obviously, I'm not full of my own ego, right? Right? Before any of you can dispute that, goodbye.
Nice.